the ill-advised wise guys. It's your boy Uche. I got my boy
You easy for sheezy. It's way too easy. It snowed, and what made it extra cold was because it was breezy. Woo! 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 Bars.
Bars. You know what I'm saying? Q, you may have a career in another minefield land somewhere as a rapper, but definitely not today.
Hey, bro.
Stick to podcast. Stick to podcasting. That's all right.
Bro, you know the top 3 rappers is Dylon, and me. What you talking about?
Oh, word. Okay.
Word.
I missed that. My fault. This is episode 93.
93.
And yeah, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Wise Gang for supporting us each and every episode. We really appreciate y'all. We want to send a special shout out to all the Black people across this nation because it is Black History Month. Let's not forget that. You know what I'm saying?
They gave us the shortest month though.
That's facts.
They gave us the shortest month. They couldn't give us like December. Matter of fact, it's all year, man. It's Black History Year, man. Come on.
Nah, it's hella weird. But before we go too deep into that, because that's a rabbit hole we don't even want to open up. But if you want to, I want to introduce our guest first and foremost. We got a special guest to the episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see his face. His name is Jordan Lowe. What's up, brother?
What's good? What's good? I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to chop it up with y'all boys, man. I'm here for it. Let's get it.
Word. Yeah, Jordan is an interesting dude, man. Like straight up. I stumbled upon. I want to give a backstory real quick. I stumbled upon I think I told you this as well. Mm-hmm. Stumbled upon your video that you put out on your YouTube channel randomly. You know how the algorithms go, right? Mm-hmm. Like that, you get warped into the algorithm. A video gets suggested to you, but it was when you were covering the argument that was happening between, I think it was DJ Academics and Meek Mill during that time, the Clubhouse little dispute.
Yeah.
So that was dope, and so I reached out because I was like, yo, this guy. First of all, the way you put together that video was fire, and then I clicked on your profile, and I was like, oh shit, dude, work for Complex? What the fuck? Like that's strange.
Yeah.
So, before we get into anything else. Talk to us just a little bit about what you do, I guess, with Complex, and just like some of the things that you have on your plate as a social editor, you know what I'm saying, I guess by trade, and just some of the stuff you're trying to get into.
Yeah. So just quick backstory. I got into Complex as an intern right after college. So as soon as I graduated, you know what I'm saying, was able to go there in June. And the internship was basically for that summer. So this was in 2019. So it was from June to August, and I was moving out to New York. I didn't know how I was going to be able to stay in New York past August, but I knew for a fact, bro, I was not trying to go back to VA by any means necessary. So I had to figure something out. So basically throughout the course of the internship, I'm in the video department. So I'm just doing all I can just to sustain it. You know what I'm saying? And so just trying to help on other projects. I'm staying after, not getting paid for stuff because I'm doing overtime and stuff like that. Just trying to be an asset to the team. When the internship ended, the dude that was working on Everyday Struggle, he decided that he wanted to do something else within the company. And so it matched perfectly. I filled right in, And so since then, that was around mid-August, September in 2019. I joined the Everyday Struggle team. And so I've been doing that. And then Everyday Struggle just ended. So now I'm on sneaker shopping currently, just doing the social content for Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and etc. And that's what I've been doing as of late. And I still do freelance stuff on the side. I do a lot of political work on the side in terms of video work and, just staying busy.
Word. That's big time, man. It's funny. I feel like the Everyday Struggle show was such a novelty in the hip hop community for since it started, really.
Yeah.
And shout out to I guess Joe Budden, because from what I understand, he is one of the people who pioneered the idea. So, but I don't know. I'm not gonna get into like the politics of it all. I don't fucking know what's true and what's not. However, I do know that show made a mark, especially when Joe Budden was there. From everything from the Yachty interview to like the Migos drama. Remember, like the red carpet shit. Like they had some moments. You know what I'm saying? That they had some moments that I think people will never really forget. And it kind of sucks to see the show go away. But you know, hey, I'm sure everybody's out there doing their own thing and prospering in ways that that best fit them. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to you for being a hustler, man. Like that was my biggest takeaway. Like, I'm not going back to VA, man. Like, I'm gonna figure out a way to stay here in New York and like, you know, make my mark like that. That to me is that hustle mentality that us Virginians got, you know.
That's a fact, bro.
You know, shout out to you, man. Hard work should never be unnoticed. Like, should always applaud that.
Appreciate that, bro. Like we've been dreaming for this moment for so long, you know what I'm saying? Like once it's here, you know, I want to like, you know, make it last as long as possible, you know. I didn't want that to come to an end. Like I always dreamed about going to New York or going to LA and, you know, doing the stuff that I'm doing. So I just had to make it work, bro.
Exactly. How is New York though, by the way? Like, you know, did you adjust to the fast pace? New York is my favorite city. Let me just put it this way.
Okay.
New York is my favorite city in the world.
Yeah.
But I can never live in New York. It's just too
fast.
Yeah. Nah, that's how it was, bro. I used to come out here for like spring breaks in college, like every year while everybody's like going to Miami and like, you know what I'm saying, getting lit and all that stuff. I was coming to New York trying to like solidify connections and all that stuff. So coming out here, I was kind of already familiar with it because I took mad trips. But I still had a lot of adjusting to do. I would say currently, like we're still in pandemic, so it's not like the New York that it was in 2019 when I came out here. You know what I'm saying? But you know, there's still so many opportunities, so many great people out here, so many like dope things that you can get into. So you know, just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, it's the Mecca. They call it the Mecca of your world. Like when New York moves, the world got to move with it. It's funny. Have you gotten comfortable like the subway?
Oh yeah, we got that down. We got that down.
You got that down, man?
Oh man,
it's hell to me. Like, what are you talking about? The subway stops at 23 and 8. Like I don't even know where I'm at. Like you know what I'm saying? Have you ever tried to look at the subway map and figure out where you're going from a subway map in New York?
Bro, yes, and I got confused every single time. Yo, I never been somewhere where I had to rely on the people that lived there. Like we was moving around subway. I'm like, how do we do this? I'm like, I've never done that as an adult. Like I'm following a grown person, holding my hand. Okay, like we got to come this way, and then we got to take this train. I'm like, okay, it made no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, how long did it take you to actually get that down pat though? Like, how long are we talking?
Man. I would say probably a few months because I had this app. It's called City Mapper, right? And on the app, basically, it'll tell you like where to walk, what to get on, when to get off. Like it tells you everything, right? And I feel like experience is the best teacher, bro. Like the more you do it, the more you start to put things together. Like, oh, I know if I take this, I can take a transfer to this at this stop and all that. So I'm confident now. I feel like you could put me in a random area blindfolded. You know what I'm saying? And I can get back home just because I know what connects to what, if that makes sense.
Okay.
That's confidence, bro. Like, hey, listen, what you just said could turn into like the next idea for a show.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine a TV show, somebody blindfolded in New York City, and they tell them, "Yo, you gotta get to the you know what I'm saying, wherever. Statue of Liberty. This is the Statue of Liberty blindfolded. How about that?"
Hey, I'll tell you what's crazy. I've never went to see the Statue of Liberty, and I've been out here for over a year now.
You know, that's funny because
it's like that though, man.
You can see it like in certain areas. You're like, yo, that's the Statue of Liberty right there. You know, I'll go next time. That's how I hope.
Never go.
There we go. You know what? It actually reminds me of like, so we from Northern Virginia. So you from Richmond, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Richmond. We both went to VCU.
Shout out to Richmond.
Yeah, man.
Mechanicsville, Richmond.
Facts.
You know, chicken.
Yo, both my parents.
Church's chicken.
Yo, classic. Yeah, man. How y'all
Yo,
like
church.
VCU?
VCU was dope. Like VCU was cool, man. It was a cool experience because I think that it had like a cool blend in the city of like artsy slash like city, but not being too city. But then it also was close enough to like residential. It had like a good blend to me. I liked it. I liked it. I really did. I enjoyed it. And not to mention the year while we were going there, that's when VCU actually went to the Final Four.
Oh yeah.
And missed that, so that shit was super crazy. That was crazy.
That's lit, bro. I remember watching that.
Hell yeah. You know what's funny? VCU felt like a historically black college. There was so many black people at VCU. You know what I'm saying? Like black people ran VCU, in my opinion. Like, you know, the B&B, where that just felt like all black people. So that was
my parents went there, so I felt connected to it too. Like,
VCU, they renovated the hell out of VCU these last couple of years. They added an IHOP in the middle of campus. You got a Walmart.
I got the pancakes on it.
Could you imagine when we were there, all we had was after we go to the club, we go drive all the way down to that pizza spot.
Man.
But you know what though? We used to also frequent that place called New York Chicken, which was like,
we almost got shot.
Bro, I swear we almost got killed multiple times trying to get some fried chicken that wasn't even that fire. Like it was cool.
Yeah. No,
like,
I know how you feel, bro.
You know, hindsight is 2020, man. The chicken was decent. We shouldn't have been risking our lives for that type of chicken.
Every time we risk our lives for that chicken, bro.
I feel you, bro. Yeah, I was mad because after I left ODU, they want to add a Chipotle, they want to add Moe's, they want to add all this stuff. I'm like, yo, y'all using my tuition. I'm not even here no more.
That was kind of how I felt like after I left. Then they got to the Final Four, and I was like, yo, you know what? I'm kind of happy because I left. Because they about to hike the tuition prices up because now people know who VCU is.
D.
Yeah.
Man. We could talk about VCU all day, to be honest with you. I think sorry, real quick before I ran across somebody randomly the other day and they were like, I go to VCU right now. I was like, oh, for real? Me too. I was like, how do you like it? They were like, VCU is trash. I've never heard anybody say that shit. Like it hurt me. I was like, fam, what is happening? Is there something going on in the city that we're just not privy to? Like, how can you say VCU is trash? God damn, I never heard somebody say that.
They probably ran into that one homeless person that be asking you for $30. Hey, can you get $30? Remember that day? We were like,
out the ATM? At the ATM?
They said, can I get $30? I was like, okay, I can't give you $30. Well, can I at least get the jacket like that you rock? Like, nah, come on. They're like, no. Remember, she said, I can tell you where the ATM is. It's over there.
That's what she said.
I was like,
I never heard a homeless person tell me where the ATM was. Like, yo, damn. God, I mean, I respect the hustle though, man. Go get it how you live, man. Get it how you live. But
thanks.
Enough about VCU. Let's jump into some of these topics. Before we get to the one that we really want to talk about, that we both kind of, or all of us are kind of like familiar with, Nipsey Hussle dropped a visual album. I guess when I say him, I mean his estate. Dropped a 10-year anniversary album of the Marathon Project. Seemed like a big deal, a big release when the news broke. I haven't gotten to it, but I will. And we talked a little bit before the episode started, but so I know we all haven't heard it, but I do want to say, like, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. And I think that besides the actual visual album, I want to get you guys like quick thoughts on like what Nipsey Hussle meant to you, if anything, and then we can go from there. So I guess Q, how would you say Nipsey Hussle impacted your life, if at all?
Going back to the whole theme of hustling, you know what I'm saying? Like we talked about how we all each found ways to hustle to get to where we wanted to get to. And Nipsey Hussle, somebody who was in the music industry for a while before he blew up, was like the ultimate hustler. And what I loved about him was on his album Victory Lap, which I really loved even before he passed, and I was bumping before he passed. He was giving people game on how to just become a successful person, not just rapper, not just business person, but just a successful person in general. He was giving so many knowledge tools for people to use. And I think that he finally was starting to show his greatness right before he passed. So that was something that really impacted me because I feel like Nipsey Hussle has so much more to offer. And it was kind of like a cruel reminder that nothing is guaranteed, number one. And number two, that cruel reminder of somebody like life being too short, pretty much. I can keep going with Nipsey Hussle, you know, but I'm gonna keep it at that.
Nah, I feel you on that. So I guess for me, it was you know, I don't want to be, one thing I hate doing is like being one of these people who start rapping for people after they pass. I think it's mad fake when people just gravitate towards like people just because of the clout and the hype behind people's deaths. So with that being said, I wasn't the biggest Nipsey Hussle listener before Victory Lap. I'm gonna be straight up. Like I didn't hear the Marathon album. I was familiar with him as a rapper. I was familiar with his work. I heard him on verses here and there when he would collaborate with like Rick Ross, Stally. And every time I did hear his verse, I was like, damn, who is this dude? Like I know him, never heard a full-length project, but I think that when Victory Lap dropped, it seemed like it was a moment that not only he was waiting for, but like I guess I was waiting for, where I could feel compelled enough to listen to a full-length project of his, and I was not disappointed at all. Like for real. Like I really played that album out while he was alive to the point where I was like, damn, yo, like what have I been missing? And Q, you said something really pivotal and key, you know, which was the game, the fact of, you know, life is a marathon, the persistence, the hustler mentality. Jordan, you was talking about it earlier about how your grind, you know, going to New York. Like that's a real thing of eating, living and breathing this hustler mentality. Like it's not a fad. Like you either live by this ideology or you don't have it in you, straight up. And not everybody has it in them. So I think for Nipsey Hussle, his ideology, the marathon continues. That's going to be one of those things that's remembered for a long time. It reminds me of Kobe's Mamba mentality. Like, you know, like when you get to a certain status and you have phrases, bro, you are an icon beyond imagine to me. And so I think Nipsey Hussle's imprint in his impact in rap, but really in the world is felt. And so, yeah, man, the marathon continues, man. Like, listen, I ain't even gonna front. I have a marathon in my damn Twitter name because of Nipsey Hussle. Like, his death impacted me, and I was like, damn, yo, I gotta get on my shit. I gotta start living and breathing and dying behind the stuff that we are creating because it's important. If it's not important to you, why should anybody else care? And you're not gonna get it overnight, but bro, like if you're persistent enough, good things will happen. So that's really what Nipsey's, I think his message really made me feel. So yeah.
Yo, I feel like it's very similar to you. Nipsey, bro, like I was familiar with his music, was listening to Victory Lap, but I wasn't what you would call a fan, right? You know what I'm saying? And hindsight is always 20/20. So like when he did pass away, I had to go back and look at like what he did and what kind of person he was. And like I really discovered that this man was really like chosen, like on some whole other shit. Like he was really chosen because you hear all these stories. I was just talking about this last night with the homies. You hear all these like needle in a haystack fairy tale stories about somebody like what dropping out of high school, starting music for the first time, and then they make it overnight. And I feel like that's what the mainstream media loves But Nipsey Hussle, he really like got it out the mud. Like he's putting in work, all these albums that aren't really getting noticed. He's selling his own albums on the street, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what's real. Like that's the stuff that people don't want to show. Like Nipsey really set the blueprint for, you know, normal everyday people that are really trying to get it, but they're not having this overnight success, like this needle in a haystack career. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, you know, even with this visual album and stuff that might come out later on, I think it just shows that everything we do while we're alive, we need to like just think about our purpose, our legacy, what we want to bring to this earth. Because Nipsey could have quit. Like Nipsey could have, you know, said, you know what, this isn't working out. You know, people aren't listening to my music. I might not be as hot as I thought I was, and then just let it go. But then he would have never impacted me, you, or you know what I'm saying? And so it really takes like getting out of this like self-centered bubble and really think about, you know, the people you can impact, you know. And unfortunately, you know, when he passed away, a lot of people like did start to pay attention to what he was doing, but I think that was all divine, like just a part of his purpose. So rest in peace to him, for real.
That's a perfect point, man. Like,
Thanks.
you know, and so just to kind of add on to what both of y'all said, is, you know, there was something about him that like when he rapped, he knew he was great.
Mm.
You know, it's funny because when I used to listen to Victory Lap, I used to tell Ooch this all the time. I got like Rick Ross, like Deeper Than Rap, Teflon Don vibes, where, you know what I'm saying, like the beats were like soulful kind of, but like mafia type, and then like the stuff that he's talking about is like, yo, like I know I'm great, like, because people forget, like I know Rick Ross gets clowned a lot, you know, but Rick Ross at one point was like that dude, like he was talking about like, you know, being the boss, you know, great. And I thought like Nipsey Hussle, I can tell that he was inspired by Rick Ross a little bit. So that was what initially, before he died, that's kind of what I looked at Victory Lap. That's kind of how I looked at it. And, you know, from there, I can tell that he still knew he was great. Like he, and to me, that's one thing that people I think got to take away is that like, even if you're not great at something, convince yourself that you're great at something. And it's gonna, your artistry is gonna hit people differently. And I think that's one of the main reasons like it hits different, because he comes across as great, point blank, period. Like,
yeah.
Only a few rappers.
No, you're right.
Rappers have, to me, only a few rappers give me that type of great impact.
I really got. I think the biggest thing, like, and I mean, we could talk about this all day, but we should definitely move on. But I do want to say like one last thing, which is like, he definitely gave me goosebumps, but it wasn't only for his rapping ability, which was pretty damn good. Like if we're getting at, see, there's two ways to assess rap, in my opinion, multiple actually, but the two that I look at in particular is your technical ability, meaning how do you flow, how do you rhyme on a beat, how do you use metaphors, can you switch in and out of pockets in a beat, like picking beats. That's one side, which I think he had down pat. But the other side is making people feel something with your words. And he had that on lock. And in a way in which it was not even very superficial. Like some of the things he was saying wasn't even like, I know you equated him to like Rick Ross, and I know that's an example, not an exact one, but like to me, Rick Ross was more superficial with his bars. Like a lot of the stuff he talks about is things that you can't really relate to. Nipsey talks about stuff that you can actually relate to. You know what I'm saying? And it hits you a little deeper. You know what I'm saying? It kind of pierces, it makes his message more vivid. And so that was the thing that I really took away, and I appreciate from his music overall. So yeah. Yeah, man. I'm a little sad. I want to pick up the damn energy, because to be honest with you, talking about Nipsey, man, that shit is tragic, man. What happened is tragic. Like if you actually think about this shit, it was tragic. So let's move on to another topic. So recently, Macklemore. Yo, this is actually hilarious. I can't even get this out, man. Like Macklemore, 7 years later, or however many years later, comes out and says, "Yo, you know what? I do think race was involved with me winning a Grammy for best hip hop album of the year over Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City." I know that was ridiculous then, but what do you think about Macklemore's take now? Is he right or wrong? How do you feel about this?
Duh. Hey, if he's just coming to that realization, bro, come on. Like we know how the Grammys is set up. You know what I'm saying? Actually, we don't know how the Grammys set up. We don't know who voting. You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
But it's like, hold on, I just pulled it up too, actually. He went against Nothing Was the Same. Arguably one of Drake's best albums, if not the best. Nothing Was the Same, Good Kid, Mad City, and Magna Carta, Holy Grail, and Yeezus. Bro, like, yo, even if they didn't give it to Kendrick, I feel like Kendrick should have won. But even if they didn't give it to Kendrick, there's still so many albums they could have gave it to rather than Macklemore.
That's a fact. Jeez. You know what? Damn, you just put it in perspective. I didn't even realize them other albums was a part of that. I didn't even realize that. I just thought it was so egregious that Kendrick didn't win. That album was not, Macklemore's album was not better than Drake's. Let's just keep it a bean.
Let's keep it a bean.
Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah,
let's keep it a buck. Right, how about that? It wasn't better. Like, it's not better. So what are we talking? And Jesus actually grew on me over the years, but I might edge out. I might say Macklemore's is better than him. I'm gonna give him that.
Yeah,
give him that.
I feel it.
I'm gonna also give him it was better than Jay-Z, Magna Carta, Holy Grail. To be honest with you, that's one of Jay-Z's worst albums to me. That's one of his worst albums. And when I say worst, I'm putting it in perspective because I don't mean it was a bad project. I mean, by Jay-Z standards, like if we're rating his albums, I would actually put that one towards the bottom. Okay. In my opinion. But whatever. Nonetheless, Q, you had something to say. Go for it.
I'm going to play devil's advocate, okay? Because I mean, I obviously agree. I agree that Kendrick Lamar not to Pimp a Butterfly, sorry, Good Kid, Mad City was a better album. But think about it. It's aged badly. Like this decision has aged badly. Think about how Macklemore was viewed back then. Like think about how he was getting hit after hit. He was going on award show after award show. And now what Macklemore has become. So to me, the most egregious thing about Kendrick Lamar not winning that award is that you knew Kendrick, this was just the beginning of greatness for Kendrick Lamar. Like you knew that this dude was going to be one of the best rappers of all time. And everybody can see it, but the Grammy, I guess the committee. But like, if you didn't see that Kendrick Lamar was going to be doing some great stuff in the near future, then I can see how you can just put that album on there in the midst of all these other albums and kind of grade it by, I don't know, songs that you liked or songs that, you know, you thought were well structured and things like that. Because personally, I've heard the Macklemore album. I don't think it's a bad album at all. I just think it's a good album.
No, it's good. It's for sure.
It's actually very good. I actually had to disagree. I do think it's better than Nothing Was the Same.
You're out of your freaking mind.
I'm telling you. It's
lost your mind, bro.
Macklemore looks like a joke today, but like if you actually listen to the album, it's actually a good album. But like, would I have the confidence to give that award to somebody named Macklemore over Drake, Jay-Z, Kanye, Kendrick? No.
That's crazy.
I don't got the confidence to do that. But I will say the album is actually not that bad. It's actually
no. Let me be very clear. I never said the album was bad. I just said it was good. I for sure said it was good. I said it was better than Yeezus and Jay-Z's album that year, for sure. Like in my opinion. But I'm not giving them the nod over Drake. I'm not doing it. We're not doing that.
What about slips you like $5? You gonna do it?
Make it like 500, but that might be considered payola. It might be considered payola, so I don't know. I'm not sure. But no, seriously though, like I'm gonna play Angel's Advocate. You playing Devil's Advocate? I'm gonna play Angel's Advocate. I don't even know what that means, but this shit sound cool.
Hey, we got trademark that.
Right. To Jordan's point, like, who is making these decisions? I really feel like there's an agenda that seems to always come out in an unbelievable fashion when it comes to how they hand out Grammy awards when it comes to rap music. Mm-hmm. Because even like if you look at let's fast forward, let's look at this year, right? The Grammys, I think it got pushed back if I'm not mistaken because of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. But anyway, you got D Smoke's album that got nominated. You have Freddie Gibbs' new album. Mm-hmm. I think it was Alfredo, if I'm not mistaken. Q, help me out. Who else was nominated? You remember? We talked about this.
Royce the 5'9".
Royce the 5'9", the Allegory. There was like one or two others. But the point is, what I'm getting at is every single album that was nominated this year is like, I would argue, boom bap, traditional hip hop, where there is no love being shown towards some of the new school dudes, the Lil Babies, the Roddy Ricch, who stylistically they do different things than the people who were nominated. But why is it that there's no love being shown to the different styles in hip hop? Because we're not gonna sit here and act like Lil Baby did not drop a great project, and he was not the most impactful rapper last year. So how the hell is he not acknowledged? It makes no sense. I question every person who's a part of that board. And for real, we need to start holding them accountable. Like, let's start getting them to show their faces. How about we know who's on the damn board? Or better yet, how about we say, let's create our own board where we actually have people within hip hop rating hip hop? Because I think hip hop is big enough in 2021 to have its own platform even beyond the BET Awards. Mm-hmm. You know how the BET got the BET Hip Hop Awards? Mm-hmm. We can own that. We can make that shit the Grammys, or we can come up with something else that's much larger than this, because some of these decisions they're just idiotic and they make no sense.
I just want to change the people at the Grammys. Like, we ain't got to come out with no new awards, man. Just
look. No. You know what? I tell you this all the time. The shit I hate is when they when they make like Jay-Z and LL Cool J enter into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How the fuck is I talk to Q about this all the time. Like, how is there Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? For what? They're rappers.
Exactly. Do y'all feel like the Grammys are trying? Do you feel like they're trying to get it right?
No.
I think so.
Why?
I think so.
Why do you say no?
Okay, so I'll caveat. I'll say no because I'll put it like this. I don't think that their intentions are devilish, or I don't think their intentions are wrong. So I guess from that standpoint, yeah, you could argue they're probably trying to get it right. Mm-hmm. But I think there is a negligence that exists with not maybe understanding the culture that they are critiquing and grading. Mm-hmm. So to me, that absence of initiative of trying to get people in to make the right decisions makes me lean more towards they are not trying to get it right. Again, I don't think it's intentional, but they are dropping the ball. Let's be clear about that. They drop the ball way too often for us not to start questioning them and really like the processes behind the scenes. What you think?
I feel like they're trying, but I feel like they're still not getting it right. But I feel like they're trying, because I think about the year prior. Was the year prior when Tyler, the Creator, won?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Igor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like they try to throw in shit that we might like. We were like, yo, Igor's got a rap album. So this year they come back and they get all boom bap. Mm-hmm. And then we're still like, no, we want Lil Baby. I feel like they're just out of touch, but I feel like they're like trying too hard to like give us what we want. But it's like, you're still wrong. Like,
but let me say, that's funny because we had a prior conversation. Can you blame them? Like, rap is very confusing. Hip hop is very confusing. Like, to just say best hip hop album or best rap album You're never gonna get that right because hip hop and rap has so many different phases to it, so many different types. Like to me, like I'm just looking at some of the nominees from last year. Like Tyler the Creator, like you said, Igor was going against Corday, The Lost Boy, 21 Savage, I Am, I Was, Meek Mill, Championships, Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers. Like to me, that was probably their best attempt at trying to cover all bases. But to do that every year, to try to cover all bases every year, somebody is going to be left out. Somebody is going to be forgotten about every year. So I mean, I do give them credit. They've gotten better. Cardi B won one year. I don't know if I agree.
Yo.
Cardi B actually won it over
Travis
Nipsey
Scott.
Hussle.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a problem with it though.
I did.
You see what I'm saying? I didn't have a problem with it because I feel like that kind of shows that they're being open-minded, as opposed to just a couple years ago, they used to give the award to Eminem. If Eminem dropped an album back then, Eminem was going to get the award. Like Eminem, you guys are going to laugh at the Grammys that Eminem has won for. The Marshall Mathers LP2, he won a Grammy for that. I don't even remember a song.
Nah. Nope.
He won a Grammy for Recovery.
Nah. Wait, hold on. Which Grammy though? Best pop or what? Best rap?
Best rap album.
See what I'm saying? And I don't even know. I don't even remember what albums came out that year, but they do. They give Eminem way too much credit. Like,
but look, he won a Grammy for. This is going to make you laugh. He won a Grammy for Relapse.
No.
Guess who he beat? Flow Rider.
Yo. Bro, honestly, like it doesn't make sense to me because I feel like Lil Baby and Roddy Ricch are like undisputed like champions of 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at Apple Music is putting out awards now. You got GQ doing it. You got all these publications. They're not necessarily getting it right, but just the fact that Lil Baby and Roddy Ricch are in the nominations, Grammy should be able to look around. Like, look, you know what I'm saying? Look at the room. You know what I'm saying?
Read the goddamn room.
Read the room and see, like, yo, why is D Smoke, bro? D Smoke could have had the best album of 2020, but I do not want it, bro. Why is D Smoke in there? Bro? We want Lil Baby, bro.
That's what I'm saying. They try to do too much. It reminds me of like, and no disrespect to all the you know the people, white people out there that listen to hip hop, but let's be real. You have come across a white person in your life who has tried to prove to you that they know their hip hop, so they start throwing out the De La Souls. Paul Quest, yo, oh my God, Beastie Boy. Like it's like, fam. Yes, them people had their day, but like, let's stop talking about that in 2021. It's not relevant. Okay,
look, bro.
Lil Baby. I just found out Lil Baby got a goddamn Super Bowl commercial with Rockstar or some shit. The energy drink.
He does.
What the heck? If that don't tell you that like something is off,
bro,
I don't know what does.
You know what rapper can go to every white cookout? Tech 9. If I hear one more time, Tech 9 is the best rapper. Hey man, Tech 9. Oh my God. The way he switches. Tech 9 can go to any white cookout, eating Brussels sprouts and all that stuff.
Question. Do y'all feel like Uzi and YoungBoy were snubbed? Because a lot of people feel like they dropped and get snubbed.
You know what? Hey, I'm actually glad you brought up Uzi. I'm glad you brought up Uzi.
Let's talk about it.
I'm glad you brought up Uzi. Now, when you say YoungBoy, are you talking about his album called Top? Which one are you talking about?
Well, I'm not necessarily talking about in the category of best rap album, but you see his YouTube numbers. He's like the highest streaming artist on YouTube. I think that's worth something, worth at least a nomination for something. You know what I'm saying? People love his music. It might not be me, but people do. People love it.
So I'm glad. Damn, man, I'm glad you said that, man. I'm glad you said that, because you know what? That's kind of where we've been coming from these last couple months. Like we've talked about YoungBoy on this show, and how the dude's fam. He dropped a song this week actually called "Toxic Punk."
Mm-hmm.
It was audio. It wasn't even a video. And he dropped it on like a Tuesday or when. I can't remember what day. Fam, in 24 hours, the audio had like 3.1 million views.
Bro, it's crazy.
How and let's get, I'm gonna get into some nerd shit real quick. YouTube, search engine optimization, all that bullshit. Everybody know the damn word, you know, search engine, blah, 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 blah. Google, YouTube, those are the two biggest search engines in the world. Obviously, Google owns YouTube. So you mean to tell me on a platform like YouTube, where everybody goes to, YoungBoy, who does those types of numbers, that doesn't mean anything? But yeah, we go into Spotify as if Spotify is the representation of where everybody consumes music. Like, I'm not saying I think YoungBoy's music is amazing, because I don't. I think he's all right. Like, I see why people think he's great, though. I see it.
Yeah.
But I personally don't enjoy all of his music. Now,
well, let me jump in there real quick to disagree with you real quick.
Go ahead. Let's go back and forth.
Let me jump in there and disagree with you a little bit.
Let's do it.
Us as human beings like car crash. Not car, you know that saying where it's like we like disaster. Like we like, so it can be something that is a complete disaster and we view it. Like if you look at some of the stuff that's actually doing well on YouTube, I'm sure some dumb stuff. It's like KiTTN videos or something like that. You know, like some random stuff is trending. Like views in this day and age doesn't necessarily mean quality. Like it just means people are interested in whatever the hell it is for whatever reason. So I think NBA YoungBoy, he's, to me, if I'm being nice, I would say like in a certain sense, his music is decent, but nowhere near Grammy quality. No.
So let me be clear. I want to respond to that, because you're right. Again, like I say, I agree. I don't think his music is amazing, right? So I would not be going to bat for him about getting the highest award when it comes to the most quality project of the year. So, bro, find an award show for this man. I don't care if it's the People's Choice Award,
right?
But find something to give this man, because it makes no sense how he's not involved in the conversation when his music is performing in that respect. Now, the opposite of that is Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch had the numbers, and we're not gonna sit here and act like the quality is not there. Like Roddy Ricch ain't out here putting out quality projects. So I think that's the main difference between the two.
You want to know why YoungBoy and Uzi and people of that nature aren't getting the credit, bro? It's because they don't make rounds. They don't, when they drop an album, they're not going to the Breakfast Club. They're not going to, you know what I'm saying, these different shows and making their rounds. And people don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole industry is based off relationships. And like, I'm not mad at that. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like if we're talking about music, it should strictly be about the music, you know? Because YoungBoy doesn't want to talk to you, you shouldn't get offended and be like, I'm not going to put him in a playlist, or I'm not going to put him in a nominee because he's antisocial, doesn't want to talk. I feel like if we're talking music, let's keep it at music. So like, how do y'all feel about that? Like, do y'all agree with that notion that that's why, or do y'all have a different theory, or what?
That has to be a big.
That's a great theory.
That to me, that's a great point, and you're right, man. You know, somebody else who got snubbed, which I'm not sure what kind of rounds they make, but I would assume they don't make very many, is The Weeknd. You know what I'm saying? Like, The Weeknd is a big star, right? Like, star, right? Mega star. He's out of here. But I don't believe he's making rounds either. Like, but his music is that impactful to where it don't even really matter, and that's really what it comes down to. Like, some artists can't afford to not make rounds. Let's just be real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're up and coming artist and your music ain't hitting like a dude who like a Uzi, or it's not hitting like somebody who like a Juice WRLD or people that really are shifting the culture, you can't really not make rounds. It's not really beneficial.
That's true though. Yeah, facts.
It's just not.
But to put it in perspective, it's like, who is not giving them credit, right? Like, we give him credit, right? Like, all three of us are giving him credit. His record sales are doing well. Apple's acknowledged him. Spotify. I think the people that are not giving him credit are the traditional hip hop award show people, which in my opinion, I don't mean to go deep, but I guess I will go deep. I think they're never going to acknowledge somebody that makes them feel uncomfortable. Like NBA YoungBoy, to say you like NBA YoungBoy kind of says something about you to certain people. When you're like, yo, could you imagine if you went to like an AR or like a president of a label and said, yeah, this person got next, and they play NBA YoungBoy, you talk about I killed 19 people on the song, they're gonna look at you a certain way, like, yo, that's the type of music that you listen to. And so I think when you talk about like the Grammys, who I think at the end of the day is historically ran by, let's say, older white people probably. He makes them uncomfortable. Yeah. Like Uzi Vert makes people uncomfortable. And so, like, to me, until people can start feeling comfortable with their personas, they're gonna keep getting snubbed by these major people.
Yeah, but same thing we talked about, and we'll probably get to this topic later on. But like, I do want to end with this, like, and that's why it's important to shake up the room of the people who are making decisions. Like, when it comes to a community of artists, like, let's not understate how important hip hop is in 2021. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, you know what? Let's put music aside. If there's a movie being made about Black people, about the Black struggle, I'm not about to have the executive producer and the writer of the show, at least the majority of them, be anybody other than Black people, because it's important to understand a perspective. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's voice doesn't matter. I'm just simply saying, like, we need more voices in those rooms who understand what's happening on the streets. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I think they're out of touch. I think, and it's not just about the Grammys. I think this exists a lot of different places. This is not solely about the Grammys per se, but that is a thing. People are out of touch.
Right.
Let's not act like that don't exist.
By the way, I'm gonna say this: if I see
sorry, let me one thing. I'm out of touch too, man. Like, we all are. I don't know what this Baby Shark shit that phase that went around. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but that shit is dominating every conversation. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
It's okay, but you got to know when you're out of touch. You have to be aware.
I was gonna say, by the way, like, if one more UK person plays a prominent Black figure, I'm gonna lose my mind, man. I done seen a UK person play Martin Luther King. I done seen a UK person play Rosa Parks. I done seen a UK person play. Come on, man, we gotta get some Black Americans. Just kind of going to your point where it's like, yo, we need to have more people that are, in the room that are us, that they can speak on it. But I just want to throw that out there. I'm sorry.
I feel that.
That's my little rant.
And this is not a topic, but I don't know what the hell's going on with this diamond shit that Uzi has on his forehead. Like,
vision, bro. You know the vibe.
What's going on with that, man? Like, I don't understand. See, I'm out of touch, man. This is what I'm talking about. Like, what is that about? Do you have more insight, George?
Bro, vision, bro. He trying to be the dude off the Avengers, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at it, bro. Let that man rock out, man. He's trying to get the Infinity Stones, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he looks foolish, bro. He looks foolish. He looks crazy. Did you see the picture he posted when he had like the blood coming down?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He was like, this thing can kill me. And I was like, damn. 24 million too. Like, some people are kind of,
bro. He did not. He did not.
That shit. Hey, that's cap. I'm calling cap. That's not 24 million. They need to stop. They need to knock it off. Stop it. Bro. It's not 24 million. I wasn't there when the transaction was happening, but there is no fucking way that stone cost $24 million. I don't believe it.
Maybe he got $20 million insurance on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would put insurance on that thing,
bro. Just saying that it's 24 million, somebody's really gonna believe that, and now they gonna literally want your head. Like, you a walking lick at that point. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
You got a diamond in your head, bro.
It's crazy.
You are gonna want to kill this man, bro.
Yeah, like, seriously.
Hopefully he stays safe, man.
And he put it. I guess he's the one that said it was 24 million.
Yeah,
so, like,
he did.
I worry for Uzi sometimes, man. Like, I worry for Uzi's mentality sometimes, man.
Yeah,
Bro, I think he's trolling though, man. I think he's trolling.
I think so too. I think so too.
I mean, I do think he's gonna walk around with a diamond in his head, but I think he's trolling on the amount it costs.
Oh yeah,
he's gotta be trolling
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, you know what? Let's go to another topic. Let's talk about Nick Cannon and Viacom bringing back Wildin' Out. He's gonna be hosting it again. I personally feel like there should be no other host than Nick Cannon, even though I don't think he's the funniest on the show. But what y'all think about that? Like, about him getting that agreement with Viacom again?
I'm gonna let you go first. You can take that.
Man, go for it, man. You're our guest. You're our guest, man. What you think?
Man, so I've seen a lot of people saying, they wish that more people would just like stand on what they say and not like backtrack. But I think it's just part of being a man, like just apologizing, you know what I'm saying? Because even if he felt like he was right 100%, there's gonna be somebody on the other end of that you offended, and like you do got to think about that, especially when you're in a position of power, when you do have a voice, you know what I'm saying? So I'm actually not mad at him apologizing. You know what I'm saying? We know that he didn't own Wildin' Out for real, so they could just take that away from him. So, I think he did what's best for him. At the end of the day, we could agree with him and we could say, yeah, stand on what you say, but we're not putting money in that man's pocket. You know what I'm saying? We're not, helping him in his like endeavors and building out his legacy. Like, no, like we're probably going to forget about this incident. And while he's like not doing nothing, we're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Not even thinking about like what happened. So I think he needs to do what's best for him. And if he thinks this is what that is, I'm with it. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, nah, that's real. That's real. You know what, man? This Nick Cannon thing taught me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's cool about like watching people go through things in the media, or just fuck the media. Just in real life, you may have some homies, you may have parents, cousins, sisters that's going through something.
Yeah.
And you kind of just a passenger as it's happening, and you seeing them make mistakes or having wins and losses. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think my biggest takeaway from all of this is number one, you don't know what the hell you would do unless you're in that situation. Nick Cannon.
Fact.
Straight up. And I think more people need to have like that perspective before they speak on something, like for real.
Fact.
So with that being said, Nick Cannon, what caused all of this was Nick Cannon's statements regarding Jewish people.
Right.
And so, you know what? Listen, we're all walking hypocrites. We're all not saying the most correct things, politically correct things at all times. And from my understanding, he said some things that were incorrect. Mm-hmm. But he thought was absolutely fact. Mm-hmm. It happens. Mm-hmm. Yes, people get triggered when Jewish people are mentioned in any regard. And so I get it. The volatility, the pain, the history that Jewish people have gone through. Anytime you say anything wrong, even in the slightest, people are coming for you. And so I think that is also part of why people really came for him in that way. But Nick Cannon seemed to be, even right after that situation, he seemed to be sincere with his apology. He seemed to be sincere with him thinking that he had all the information when he didn't. As a matter of fact, right after that, he even offered to bring, and I think this actually happened, he brought a rabbi on the show who really schooled him in all the areas that he was actually incorrect on. So overall, we all as a people need to have more grace in how we even approach other people when they're wrong about something that they thought they were right about. And then secondly, and more importantly, damn, I guess we didn't know that Nick Cannon didn't own the rights to Wildin' Out. But, hey, that's what happens when you're in big business with an organization like Viacom. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have the distribution channels. They own that. So if you do something that goes against their liking, yes, they have the right to pull it from the network. I'm not even saying they were wrong for it. I'm just saying, damn, like he needs to actually own the rights to that show and distribute it on its own, because I do feel like Wildin' Out has a name brand and name recognition that stands on its own. They don't need Viacom. Like, he could literally take that show to YouTube, like if he owned the rights, and I think people will still fuck with it. But Shout out to him, man, because I think he had to get a public apology in order for this all to really go through, man. But listen, man, Nick Cannon, I'm glad he got his show back, but damn, man, like
Viacom not giving him the rights to that show.
No way.
They're not.
No.
But maybe he can buy it if he has enough capital. Maybe he can buy it out. I don't know.
Hey.
Maybe he can do what Master P is doing with Baron Davis, getting a couple $1 billion together and say, you know what, let's buy the rights to this goddamn show. I don't know.
We'll see. But I'm gonna come from a different angle a little bit. I'm gonna say this. This is not the first time Nick Cannon has been quote unquote canceled, by the way.
Okay.
Remember, Nick Cannon was canceled by NBC. He used to host what's that show with America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
He had a comedy sketch in which he called out NBC, and I guess he said some things that NBC didn't like. They said apologize. Nick Cannon said, "No, I'm not apologizing. This is my opinion." And they said, "We're gonna take you off America's Got Talent." So my issue to me is with this whole, we talk about cancel culture. Sometimes cancel culture, I think, is necessary. Like, like Donald Trump, yes, I think it's necessary to cancel him because he's saying certain things that's just blatantly racist or blatantly like divisive and all that stuff. But then I do think that certain people do not deserve to be canceled because of their intentions. Like, just like Nick Cannon said, about Jewish people, which in my opinion too, I don't necessarily agree with him. I don't know if you guys know Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly is a news person that was on, I think she was on Fox News at one point. She got to NBC. She made a comment about blackface. It was a bit of an ignorant comment, but I don't think she was coming from a bad place. She said something like, "I don't understand why people are so angry about blackface." They canceled her. They removed her. They said, "Yo, we don't care who you are. You don't deserve a job with NBC." Personally, I don't believe Megyn Kelly should have been canceled. I don't believe Nick Cannon should have been canceled. Because if you look at their intentions, I think it was to start a conversation. And what Nick Cannon, if you listen to the clip, he's talking about what he feels, his opinion. And I don't think he was trying to say that he was right, but it was just kind of like to spark a conversation to figure out how people understand, or to tell people how he understands, Black people and the power of melanin. And in my opinion, if we start canceling people for having an opinion, if we start canceling people for having questions, then I think that, we enter in a very slippery slope here.
That's a good point. But Q, let's be real, man. You and I, we've been talking about this lately a lot, which is the concept of freedom of speech. And if we being real, freedom of speech is not free. It's not. Because go out there and say something against your organization that you work for, right? Something that directly goes against the guidelines and the morals or whatever the hell they put up and say you should not do. You can't stand behind the freedom of speech shit because these are private companies. They're private companies and they're run by people who have set guidelines for you as an employee to follow. So if you break them, you technically should be held accountable. So all I'm saying is freedom of speech is not, you can't just come out and say whatever you want. I agree with you, he shouldn't have been canceled, but I'm also in favor of people setting up guidelines for their organization and saying, yo, like if you do something against it, we not standing with you. Like, I think that's fine too. They should have definitely worked with him because what he said, like you said, was not as problematic as it seemed. Again, I think the topic itself related to Jewish people is what sparked this whole heartburn that people have. It's a very sensitive topic.
But my thing is,
speak on it. Like that's how people feel. Like, don't speak on it.
My bad, Jordan. Let me real quick. I'm gonna say this. The thing is, he's paid to have an opinion. Like he's a comedian.
Not on that show. He was on his own.
No, I know, but still, he's a comedian.
His own YouTube show.
Be able to, were you surprised that he had something to say? Because I agree with you with freedom of speech. It's like if it's Nick Cannon. So for some reason, Nick Cannon, people just want to cancel him all the time. People think Nick Cannon is like a joke. But like, I've heard comedians say worse. And you're gonna cancel Dave Chappelle? Like Dave Chappelle says worse.
Yo,
You gonna cancel Dave Chappelle? Because you got respect for Dave Chappelle.
The major difference, once again, is Nick Cannon's show Wild 'N Out is partnered with an organization called Viacom. They literally are partners in distributing the content. So if he does something related to anything of his breaching his contract, they have the rights to do it. Dave Chappelle's a freaking stand-up comedian.
I understand. I understand.
He speaks for himself. Right. So the only people who can cancel him is the people he's in business with, but he already has that track record to where he already gets away with saying whatever the fuck he wants. Like, he's a comedian. I don't consider Nick Cannon a comedian.
He's a comedian.
even though he is. I don't consider him a comedian. Okay. And I think that's also part of the problem.
Okay.
One thing I actually heard from Wayno is that you have a right to free speech, but other people then have a right to how they want to deal with it, like what they want to say back or how they want to treat you. You know what I'm saying? You can say whatever you want, but the consequences might not be in your favor. You know what I'm saying? And I think I agree with you. Like, I feel like for the most part, you can have an opinion, and we shouldn't necessarily just be getting canceled for like asking questions and having an opinion. I think where the difference is that should have been something that happened off camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't get something, I'm gonna talk to my homies or somebody I can trust, and I'm gonna hit them. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, explain this to me." You know what I'm saying? We'll have that dialogue. But I think when you turn the camera on, like, he has so much power with his voice. Like, you kind of gotta, like, you know, be a little bit more responsible. With great power comes great responsibility. On my Spider-Man shit, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like, and even with that episode when he was talking about those things, I don't know. To me, it seemed like he was saying it as if that was fact. Like, it didn't seem to me as if he was like asking a question. It seemed to me like, if anything, he was asking questions to the guest that he had, and the guest was confirming it to be fact. You know what I'm saying? So if you're on the other side of that, I can see how, like, that can be very, like, you know, upsetting and dangerous, just because, like, you know, I have things I believe in, and if somebody, you know, spoke against those things and weren't really informed, I would feel away too, you know? So
I mean, I 100% agree. Like, it should have went off camera. I agree. And I understand, Ooch, what you're saying too, where the company has a right. Yeah, absolutely. What I'm kind of saying is, like, I don't think personally they should have canceled him, because, I mean, another example of somebody saying something that I thought was pretty bad, tone deaf, was Drew Brees. Remember, Drew Brees came out and said, you know, I don't respect people that kneel, you know, and then he came out and apologized for it eventually. And to me, you know, I wasn't as offended.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
I'll tell you why I wasn't as offended, because to me, I was like that's human beings. Some human beings are just tone deaf, and the fact that he said it, I'm sure now, I hope somebody told him, like, yo, what you said was dumb, man. Like, and we get to start that conversation, and, you know, we get to move forward. Like, to me, I just personally don't think that every response to something that was said bad should be canceled.
I'm gonna put it like this. I vehemently disagree with your Drew Brees point, mainly because white privilege is a thing. We don't actually have the luxury to be insensitive publicly like that. Just straight up. Like, think about what Drew Brees actually said. Like, he basically was I mean, in a nutshell, I don't remember what he said verbatim, but he basically said, yo, why are y'all tripping? Like, I think America's great. America's amazing. My family fought for the country. Like, America's amazing. Why are you guys?
A very ignorant comment. It was a very ignorant comment.
It's ill-timed. It's poorly articulated. It was ill-advised.
Hey.
It's like there was nothing productive about what he said. So, like, yes, I understand he has the right to say what he wants to say, But bro, just like you said, it doesn't make you right. Like we can actually hold people accountable. That's cool too. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Like it don't matter if you breathe. Like you can say some shit that's fucked up. And we can say, like, remember his teammate, remember Michael Thomas. He came out and was like his wife. He said F Drew Brees. he said, fuck that nigga. Bro, that's telling. Why are we having this conversation, man? Michael Thomas fans, the guy who's getting him paid millions of dollars, throwing every football at him, said, fuck you. What the hell are you talking about? He was absolutely right in how he responded. Now he walked it back because he got to be political, right? They weren't, they play on the same team, yada, yada, yada. But I think his initial emotion was correct. Go ahead, Jordan. You about to say something?
Yo, that man is 42 years old. He just gonna have to wear that. Like, you're a grown man. You have Google. You have, you know what I'm saying, your phone at your fingertips. Like, you got so many people you can hit up. It's like the Colin Kaepernick situation happened how many years before that? Like, he had so much time to like just do his research, do his due diligence, and he chose not to. He chose not to listen to certain people. And so I feel like he has to wear that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think there's no excuse for that because the information is there. The conversation, the dialogue is there. There's no reason in this like, when did that happen? Like,
just a couple months ago.
A couple of months ago, like
that was middle last year, right? That was before the season started. It was in the off season.
Before the season. I mean, and by no means am I sitting here saying that like I agree or like that I don't think his comment was dumb. But what I'm like, to me, that's why we're in this mess, is that there's some people that legitimately are ignorant. And I think that, you know, for Drew Brees to ignorantly go on camera and say something like that, how about let's not cancel him? I don't think we should cancel him per se, but I think that, like, let's hold him accountable in other ways. Let's see how you respond after we tell you what you said was stupid, was insensitive. Like, you know, and then from there we can cancel. Like, for me, I've always been the type of person, like, what do you do next matters the most to me. You made the mistake. Like with Nick Cannon, he made the mistake in what he said. What do you do next? Is your apology genuine? Okay, cool. Are you taking steps to kind of fix what you said? You are. Okay, cool. Like, to me, that's what speaks to the most to me. Sometimes people are just dumb. They don't even know what they're saying. Sometimes, I mean, people just slip up. Some people are ignorant. And to me, I just never really punished it as harshly as other people. I punish people in response, personally.
Fair enough. Now, I guess to put a bow on this conversation, does that mean you canceled Danny Lay for her comments? Because she came out and had mad rebuttals that made zero sense.
Her apologies were whack.
So is she canceled or not? Like, how you feel?
Her apologies were whack. Because to me, her comment was dumb to me. And I was like, all right, this is straight up dumb. But then she was coming out like trying to apologize, and it was like the apologies were weak. That was the bigger problem for me.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. I mean, I feel to begin with, like, the whole cancel thing isn't real. I think it's like a temporary thing that we do, but all she has to do is come back with a hit, and everybody's like bumping it all over again. All Drew Brees got to do is go win a bowl, and everybo's rocking with him again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But
winning cures all, right?
Right. That's what they did to Doja Cat. Like, she back, like nothing
Cat,
ever happened.
That's crazy.
Back, bro. Like, nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think her comments was, I don't even know, bro. Like, I feel like you kind of have to be a black woman to really like understand that. You know what I'm saying? Because I might not care about it as much, but my sister might. So like, I think those are just conversations you do have to have with those women that you have in your life, and really just understand where they're coming from. You know,
that's a great point. And I've actually been doing, when we talked about it on the last episode, I did just that. I was getting women's perspective, whether it was online, my fiance. Like, I need to understand like how y'all, because I get it, but they feel it. It's different.
Yeah.
But you know, let's be real though. Like, just to kind of summarize. Let's be real. Some of these comments are just pure stupid.
Okay.
That's the point.
Comment was just stupid. Like I was like, are you like literally like what's the IQ? Like I'm not even trying to be mean or anything like that.
Nah, fuck that. Call it what it is. You're trying to be mean. Hey, you calling their IQ out. Go ahead.
Like, I was like, yo, like at that moment, in all seriousness, like what, like I just don't get it. Like to me, like that was just a dumb comment. Yeah, like you can't justify it. Like to me, I don't know.
That's how I felt about Drew Brees, bro.
Exactly.
I agree. Who is Drew Brees?
That's why I'm like, why are we having? That's why I'm like, why are we having this conversation?
His in the depth chart and quarterback, he got closer to number 2 after that comment.
Yo, I want to move on, man, because that's actually a good segue, man. The Super Bowl is right around the corner. By the time you guys see this, the Super Bowl would have already happened. So y'all two, choose wisely. Who do you have winning the Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the Bucs? Give it to me.
I got KC. I got
KC. By how much though? By how much?
10 points. I'd say about 10.
Okay. All right. You know what? I got I got the Bucs, man.
Yeah.
I got the Bucs. Like, I want to go KC just because I know what their offense can do. I know I get it. I completely understand. However, I'm gonna ride on this hill with not betting against Tom Brady at this point. Like, I'm going down with the ship. Not that I'm a Tom Brady guy. What? Nah, man, I'm not doing it. He's in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, I'm not betting against Tom Brady. Period. End of story. I got Bucs. And I got him by a narrow margin. Like, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be high scoring, but I think it's going to be close. So I got him winning by like three points. It's going to be a close one.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep it honest. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been watching football this season as of late, but I'm going to go with the Bucs. I'm going to go with Brady. You know that man be deflating footballs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he gonna win by any means necessary.
He gonna figure it out. He gonna figure
it out. You know.
I ain't gonna lie. I respect people who be, who can, like. I don't want to say I respect the cheater, but I respect people who like
in the rules
to make it happen.
Man, what?
There's some nobleness in that. I don't know. It's weird.
I respect cheaters. I respect
cheaters.
I definitely respect cheaters.
Why?
Not adulterers.
Yeah. Why do y'all both respect cheaters? I need to know. Let's dive in. Deep dive.
I mean, I respect cheaters because a lot of times a cheater, it means that they would go to the highest measures to win. It kind of tells me something about like their mentality. Like they are going to do whatever it takes to win at life. So I definitely respect it.
Let me put it like this, man. There's levels of respect. There's respect, and then there's respect with a K.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Now, respect with a T is like the highest level. That's like highest level of respect, right? Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah.
The one with a K is like, okay, I halfway respect it, but it's not all the way. I respect respect cheaters. I don't respect them. You feel me? You understand what I'm getting at? There's some margin there. Like, I'm not about to.
I'm with you on that. That was perfect. That was perfect. I 100% agree with you on that.
See, but when I look at that, insecurity jumps out at me. Like, why are you so afraid of losing? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you not wear that? Like, like if you got to go to drastic measures just to win, that might not be so good after all. Like, what's underneath that? Like, what's underneath that?
All right, that's a good point.
No, you're right, man. You got me ready to. I think I need to go read the Bible, man. Maybe I've been around cheaters too much in my life, man.
Hey,
have I normalized cheating?
I feel you, bro.
But you can reverse it. You can reverse it.
That's important.
You can reverse it. You can say you don't care enough that you're willing to just play by the rules. Because come on. Like, let's be real. Like, sports is obvious when somebody's cheating. But like in all these other industries and stuff, they cheating, man. Like, you know, some people are buying clicks, buying followers, buying things like, you know, companies are buying people to get onto the radio. Like there's cheating going on like in more than just sports. In my opinion.
That's a you know, hey Quincy, that's a great point. And Jordan, you brought that up. Well, you brought up at least something that I just thought ties into that, which is like people making their rounds. Would you consider that cheating as an artist? Like, I gotta go make my rounds, and that's how I qualify to be acknowledged? Or would you say that's like some extra credit that should not be measured, so therefore it's probably more along the cheating route, realm of things?
I don't feel like making rounds is cheating. I think that's like this, like building relationships. I think is cheating in that realm is the whole industry plan thing. Now, if you got talent, cool, right? Like people say the Kid Leroy industry plan, right? He has he's super talented, so I'm not mad at that. What I'm mad at is when the label like builds a story, and when they're lying to their fans and saying like, "Yo, I'm in this like 6ix9ine or like whatever," you know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like that's in the same realm as the Tom Brady shit, like the cheating. You know what I'm saying?
And to me, I'm like,
that's real.
It's so normal. That what you're talking about, Jordan, is so normal in like the music industry. Like I feel like a good chunk, more than it's majority of people that's doing that, kind of building the story. And even if they do got a story, they're exaggerating it a little bit. That definitely goes on, in my opinion.
I know a few of them. I ain't gonna mention them on the podcast. They out there, bro. They out there.
See, oh man, I know you got the scoop on that.
Wait, hold on. You saying you confirmed industry plans? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, they out there.
God, yo, you know who they used to say was when I first heard that term industry plan? You know the first person that I heard them trying to say, them as in the industry trying to say it was? Ooh. Remember that artist named Rory? Cool. Hey Q, you know what I'm talking about? Rory?
Yeah, he used to roll with Jaden, I believe. Jaden Smith.
Black dude, I believe he was from Atlanta or something like that.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to hear that all day, every day. And I actually started to believe it because I'm like, I never heard music from this man. Like that was super important. I never saw a following. I never really saw traction. Yes, it seemed like he was talented, but like, where the hell did he come from? I think the term gets like overused though. I want to say that. It gets overused because people have their base before they blow up to the masses, right? Just because I wasn't privy and I didn't know about an artist before they blew up, that doesn't mean that their grind wasn't real. Like we gonna sit here and act like Nipsey Hussle. Like, how much you want to bet there was people out there who thought Nipsey Hussle was an industry plan when he came out of the blue and just started getting all this recognition, but they don't actually realize he had this whole backstory. How he been grinding for years and he little by little chipped at people's like willingness to listen to his music and stuff like that, right? Building a relationship, blah, 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 all the stuff that you need to do behind the scenes. But like, yeah, that term gets overused for sure.
Bro.
But I do believe it exists.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at like the Rory situation, if that's how it happened. I'm not mad at that because bro is talented. It's really only when your life is a lie. Like when you saying like coming from this and you acting like it's all organic, bro. It's not like you an industry plant. Just say that. Like, just say that. Just say that.
I agree.
No, they're not gonna wear it. Come on.
Yeah, they're not gonna wear it.
I agree. I mean, there's some people that, like, for instance, like Tyga. I believe Tyga was on a hip hop game show. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but like he was on before he blew up, he was on some like game show and where he was kind of like faking his lifestyle a little bit, and then he came out and said, "Yeah, man, I did it because I wanted notoriety."
Yeah,
I was like, that's kind of cheating. I don't know, Jordan, is that considered cheating to you? Like going on, like doing certain gimmicks like that, like going on game shows and like kind of portraying yourself with this certain persona.
I mean, low key, yeah, it gets deep, bro. I mean, Tyga's not acting like that now. I don't think.
No, he's not. No, Tyga's talking about like I did anything to try to get heard. Like, so he acknowledges it, but he doesn't do it now. Like, nah.
Yeah, it gets tricky. It gets really tricky. You know what I'm saying? Just
Sorry,
know they're
I
out there.
I can tell Jerome, he don't want to say too much.
Just know they're out there, bro.
He's like, yeah, I'm a chill, man. I know too much.
I can tell. You know, well, Pooch, are you trying to say Macklemore bought his Grammy? Is that you? Just come out and say it. Macklemore uses money.
Hey,
Maybe. Yeah, I think it's possible. I think
the
it's
label
possible.
is working.
Yeah.
When you're sleeping, the label is working. Just know that.
Yo, you know who I
give you the money. You're not going to directly give you the money. They'll say, you know what? How about we take you out to Roof Chris real quick? You want?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We gonna give you the tomahawk steak. Oh, you never had. I bet you never had the tomahawk steak, have you? Nah, you never. But you know what? Waiter, yeah, give him the top. Matter of fact, bring 2 out here. Yeah, he never had. Man, we gonna get him one to go after he finishes the one right in his face. You know what I'm saying?
Now let's convince you that Macklemore's album is better than you. We're just talking. Hey, Brad, we're just talking.
Nah, you know what though? I don't know if this is true or not. I don't want to say he's actually an industry plant, but I do want to say there's some fishiness going on with this guy. And I want to know your thoughts real quick before we get up out of here. Playboy Cardi. Like, what the fuck? Okay. Now, I'm not privy to the information. Q, you're not. Maybe Jordan, maybe you know a little bit more, maybe, but whatever. There's something going on that is pushing. There's something going on behind the scenes that is pushing the imagery, that's pushing the image. It's pushing the demand. There's something going on that does not feel organic. I'm sorry. I'm just calling it what it is. And it goes from everything from the merch that he released with his project, The Whole Lot of Red. It goes to how the dude seems to have the keys to the internet. It's like, why does everything just seem to make sense with him? Like, he pops up out of nowhere, takes a break for 1 month, comes out, 2 million likes on the video, like drops the album that was long awaited, that supposedly everybody wanted. Man, I think it sold like 200,000 first week. Like, by those standards, he would be considered a big artist, right? Mm. Like, if we going off of numbers, should it, like we were talking about with NBA YoungBoy, should we not give Playboy Cardi the respect, or is his music not really impacting the culture enough for us to really hold him in that high regard? Like, I don't want to say he's an industry plant, but I'm saying there's some fishiness going on. That's how I feel.
Let me start by saying that I love Playboy Cardi. I love Playboy Cardi. You know what I'm saying? 2020, he wrapped it up perfectly for me. I love that album. You know what I'm saying?
Was it a classic? Was it a classic? Like everybody's saying?
Classic.
Playboy Cardi fans?
Classic. But I'm a biased Cardi fan, so I'm never gonna be able to be like honest for. I'll admit that. Right. But what I said about Cardi, I feel like it's actually the opposite of what you're saying. I think that the label lets Cardi do him completely, like more so than any other artist. I think when Cardi wants to drop, Cardi can drop. I think whenever Cardi wants to do something, they let Cardi do it because the numbers are all there. You know what I'm saying? And I think Cardi's like a very special kind of artist because he built a cult fan base, kind of like X before he passed away. You know what I'm saying? And I think we like our artists to be in the cut. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays with artists, you got to be all over social media. You got to do all these different things. So we see you a lot. When we don't see Cardi for like a whole year and Cardi's not talking, Cardi's not speaking, I feel like that builds up the anticipation. Like, yo, we need this project. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's the reason why Cardi can come out and do anything he wants to, and that shit's gonna shoot up. Just because we haven't heard from him at all.
He's a mysterious, he's a mysterious artist.
Yeah.
And like, we like mystery. Like we love artists that are just like hard to figure out, hard to guess. And I think he started playing around with that. Like right before his album came out, he started playing around with, I'm about to drop my album. Never mind. I'm about to drop it. Yeah, here we go.
Right.
But that's how it used to be. That's how it used to be. Like everybody looks at like album sales from years ago, right? And like before, like we went to like streaming services like Apple Music and Spotify, you know, album sales are just crazy high when people had to go get physicals and stuff like that.
Yep.
But even back then, they'll do like what, one press run, and then they'll wait a whole year before they drop something else. You know, there's such a like an influx of music now. There's so much music being dropped now on a daily basis, where I feel like that's why there's a decrease in, you know, album sales. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like Cardi is just playing into that kind of like where you'll see him once a year, you know, and then he goes away.
Damn, you know what? Yo, you just convinced me not to like his music more, because I mean, but more about like his strategy and how he's going about it. That's a good point. You know, I didn't think about it like I didn't think about it that way. Like he kind of is a throwback artist in a way, and like how they rolled out music and how they went away. Like you're right, we have too much access to artists, right? With social media, we have too much access, and it wasn't like that before.
Right.
So he's kind of just taking a throwback model. I can see that.
Right.
I can see that.
He's also doing certain things that's like for shock value. Like, you know, some of the outfits that I've seen him wear, like, I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is different. Like, you know, some of the pictures he's taking. There was a picture where he was like, I look like a bad chick. Did you guys see that picture? Where I like working or something like that. I was like, okay, I get it. If that's what you want to do, but like, I don't understand the purpose of this. Like, there has to be deep meaning. But yeah, I mean, I actually respect Cardi's grind. I'm with you, Uch. I don't. His music necessarily don't click with me, but like I understand why somebody would be infatuated with Playboy.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Rockstar shit.
Yeah.
Rockstar shit. Like, and actually, you know what, bro? I wouldn't even call him a rock star. He's more of a punk star. Remember, like back in the day, where like. When I say back in the day, I don't mean that long ago. I mean like when punk music was like mainstream.
You talking 1970?
Slipknot.
I'm talking, yeah, like Slipknot, but even more recent, like I would consider Good Charlotte punk. Like they were kind of mainstream, but like they were a little bit more on the punk side. Like,
alternative.
I feel like Playboy Cardi, especially on that latest album, A Whole Lot of Red, he had a lot of punk production. You know, big meets rap. It was different from what I've heard before from a production standpoint. So I'm gonna give him a lot of credit in that realm, for real.
I think he can just do whatever he wants. You know what I'm saying? And I think as long as the numbers are there, the label is gonna let him do what he wants because it works. You know, like even let's take it back to 2020 when Uzi dropped EA, right? Uzi had been gone for mad long. He hadn't dropped no music.
Like 3 years. Or something, 2-3 years. Yeah. EA
dropped out. I can't remember how much it did. I think it was in the 3s, but it was something crazy.
It did a lot.
Now you see Uzi everywhere now. You see him tweeting every day now. If Uzi was to drop an album next week, it would not do what EA did. But that's because he was gone. He was away. So I think back to the Cardi point, I think you can just do that. Like when people don't see that much, the anticipation just builds OD.
Yeah. But let me ask you this though. Let me ask you guys this. Like when Playboy Cardi was trying to release his album, he was talking about the label won't let me release it. You know what I'm saying? Like same thing with Uzi. Uzi kept saying like the label won't let me, you know, release it. It's they won't let me free essentially. And he was coming out with like free Uzi and all that stuff. So like, do you think that was actually just like a publicity stunt? Like they would let him release it, but he didn't want to, or is it like, was it legit? His label was holding him hostage.
I don't really remember that with Cardi. I remember that with Uzi, and I do know with Uzi's situation with the Generation Now and like DJ Drama and Don Cannon and all them. I know they were having issues, and I remember Rock Nation came in and saved Uzi. Oh yeah. I don't know the specifics about that, but Rock Nation, bro, they saved Meg too. Like
bro, they saved everybody.
Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion currently, I believe.
21 Savage.
Yeah,
they got him out of whatever that was with the whole London shit. Yo, remember that?
Rock Nation, the Illuminati, bro.
Hey, you might be on to something, man. You might be on to something, man. Hey, didn't their CEO get pardoned by Trump? The CEO of Rock Nation got pardoned by Trump. This just happened like 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's crazy.
I think her name was Desiree Perez. I saw the story and I was like,
that's who 6ix9ine was talking about, right?
That's exactly the shit that 6ix9ine was talking about. Like, she was like a confidential informant, and back in the day, busted like a whole bunch of this whole cocaine drug ring, yada yada yada. I don't think she was in jail because she cooperated, right? But she got pardoned. I think they removed the records from her. I'm sorry, removed the charges and all that stuff from her record. So, bro, they might be Illuminati. They might be. They might be. Man, you on to something?
Yo, I got 2 questions for y'all.
What's up?
First one is, I'm sure y'all seen 6ix9ine post that video the other day. Do y'all think he can get back? And when I say get back, I don't mean like liked by everybody, but I just mean like, you know, getting those numbers, like, you know, not flopping on his next album. You know what I'm saying? And if so, tell me how you think he'll get back. You get what I'm saying? So
that's a fantastic question.
So Q, you go first because I don't know what video you're referring to, but
there was a video where he premiered new music. He had a beard. I believe that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Full grown beard, like like LeBron James beard. But
get the fuck out of it. 6ix9ine?
Yeah. Had a LeBron James beard.
Because he had went away for a few months.
Yeah, after his album flopped, or what people consider flopped. I actually thought it did decent numbers, but after they said it flopped, he went away for like a couple months. He disappeared, and you know, Lil Durk and them were clowning him, talking about like, yo, you know, your album flopped. Personally, the reason I don't think he can come back is because in this day and age, hip hop is so predicated on guest features and clicks. Like, you know, every single major popping album has big time guest features. Like if you look at Lil Baby's album, Gunna's on there, a whole bunch of people. Anybody Lil Baby wants to get, Lil Baby can get. Anybody the Baby wants to get, the Baby can get. Megan Thee Stallion, same thing. Everybody that is popping right now has good relationships with all the big name artists. There is no way in hell Tekashi 6ix9ine will be able to get any big name artist. In my humble opinion, I can't see it. I personally can't see it. And I think that's the reason why he will never be able to he might do some decent numbers, but I don't think he'll ever be able to get respect or anything as a musician.
So yeah. So by the way, while you were talking, I just saw the video you were referring to. Like I was just watching it. He was all up in the camera with the beard, shirt off. I think that's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
So I think your question was, will he ever get back to where he was? If I want to make sure I heard you correctly. Was that your question or was it something else?
Yeah, just get back or like be on top or some shit.
So I don't think it's possible for him to get back to what he was, meaning like the spotlight meets the numbers, meets people's adulation, I'll call it, right? Because at the time, you got to remember, at the time, this is pre-snitching. Yes, there were people who didn't like him, right? But that was his whole brand.
Yeah.
And he had never been exposed up until that point. So he was standing on this mystique, right? And so with the snitching charge and him going to jail and coming back, I feel like all of that kind of crumbled in his face. I think the mystique of him being a gangster is gone. I think the willingness for artists who have cliques, who have relationships with other people in the industry is going to be an issue for him. Because if you align yourself with 6ix9ine, it now becomes an indictment on you. And that's why I don't think he'll be able to work with many artists. I think the artists that he is going to be able to work with are the ones who are either legends like Akon, like Nicki Minaj, who don't really stand next to people on a day-to-day basis who they have to answer to. Like, I feel like these people are already legends in their own right. He might be able to pull some legends here and there, but in terms of people who are up and coming, unless he develops his own label, unless he develops his own artist, I'm not sure if he's going to get any real major name recognition for real. So I don't really see him getting back to what he was before. What's up?
Y'all remember his first album? Remember all the people that was on there? Gunna, Young Thug,
Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap was on there.
Nicki Minaj, A Boogie with the Hoodie.
Yeah.
Kanye was on there twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw two reports over the last couple of days that was not a good sign. So number one, his manager is seemingly making rounds, right? Trying to gauge people's interest. Mm-hmm. So there was a story that came out, DJ Envy. They were like, I guess they're trying to get an interview on the Breakfast Club, and his manager, 6ix9ine's manager, called DJ Envy at like 4 a.m. and was like, nah, hell no, he's not coming up here. He's banned, whatever that means, right? Same thing with Benny the Butcher. Benny the Butcher was contacted by 6ix9ine's manager, and he even put out a Twitter poll and was like, yo, what you think my response was? And his options for the Twitter poll was no and hell no.
Yeah.
And the one with hell no went like, it was like 90-something%. Like, that's going to be a thing from him because, unfortunately, like you and I talk about, snitching is hip-hop's #1 sin. And I don't like it. I understand it because street culture has infiltrated rap music like on a whole nother level at this point. Mm-hmm. So unless you now say snitching is no longer that big a deal, it's not going to be possible unless the machine gets behind him and starts working overtime to get this man more looks and whatever that looks like. So nah, I don't think he'll get back to where what he was or even close to it. Nah.
I agree
but
with
I do believe he still has a career. Like, I do believe there's still enough people who like his music. Mm-hmm. And you know how this works. Like, over time, people are going to forget. Yeah. Like, give it about a year. And all of that stitching shit, not that people are going to forget, but they're going to be like, oh, we don't care as much anymore. And if he drops a hit.
Yeah.
And if he drops a hit.
Yeah.
He's going to be back. Not to what he was, but he's going to get the limelight, I think. What you think, though?
I agree with y'all. I think he's going to continue to be relevant for this short period. Maybe not even a short period. I think he's going to continue to be relevant just off the fact of what you just said about how Benny the Butcher posted that tweet. DJ Envy said what he said. I think if y'all keep talking about him, he's going to keep creating controversy. Like he's going to take advantage of that. Now, Lil Durk, he seemed to kind of understand that and stop responding to him. Like as of recently, you'll see 6ix9ine from time to time in Durk's comments talking about his cousin Newski or talking about Vaughn. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even see Durk respond anymore like he used to. And I think that takes the power away from him. So if the whole industry can really just ignore what he got going on, then it's over for 6ix9ine because he only thrives off of controversy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, that's it.
And I'm gonna say something that even deeper to kind of go a little away from there. I think 6ix9ine is actually destroying opportunities for people that look like him, like Spanish rappers. I think he's actually destroying opportunities for people that kind of move like him. You know what I'm saying? Where if you've ever questioned somebody's gangsta as a rapper, he's kind of making people second guess if these people are really about that life. I'll give you a good example. The reason I say that in New York, there's a dude named CJ, right? The dude that made Whoopty,
yeah,
and Bop, you know what I'm saying? Tight ass songs. Mm-hmm. I guess one big underground rapper came out and said, yo, he's giving me 6ix9ine vibes.
2 G's.
You saw that, right?
Yep.
2 G's.
Yep.
He came out and said, yo, he's giving me 6ix9ine vibes. And I'm looking at the video. I'm like, I mean, I can kind of see where you're coming from because, he's this Spanish dude, and just like 6ix9ine, he's in the hood. He's going extra hard. He got the red car, just in the hood, all that stuff's ablaze. And I'm like, yo, as a Spanish rapper, it's making it hard for people to believe that you are who you say you are. Yeah. And I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and if we keep it real, nobody's gonna be able to do it on a 6ix9ine level. In terms of the game banging and stuff. That was the first time we seen remember his music videos he used to drop, and all you seen is red flags and all this stuff. And it was we never seen nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? At least to that extent. And then he's going around the world and he's telling people to test his gangster, and I'm like, you know, like nobody's gonna do it like that. Like he kind of took it too far. You know what I'm saying?
He took it too far.
Marketing genius.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna give him his flowers in that regard. Like he is of the likes of something we've never seen as far as like self-promotion of an artist taking their career. Like I firmly believe, like if I was in the room with him, I feel like he's the one coming up with damn near all the ideas.
Yeah.
Damn near all of the concepts.
Yeah.
How we gonna do a publicity stunt here? How we gonna do like
Pretty
I could
much
just
put security guards in trouble. Putting
Yeah.
security guards, making them do some dumbass stuff, making them vulnerable.
Yeah.
Making them go to Chirac, remember? Like he went to Chicago, filmed the video, like doing all that crazy shit.
Yeah.
And so from that regard, yeah, he knows how to generate buzz. So hey, if he got that skill set, maybe he's never down and out. But again, I think a hit solves everything. And we're in a new age, man. Like we got, you know, like I struggle with this sometimes too, because I don't want to accept it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But like we're in a new age. Like the kids who listen to 6ix9ine, or just I don't even want to call them kids because there's grown people who listen to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say they don't care nothing about this snitching shit. They don't care
at all.
They don't give a like so there's two opposite approaches of people who are viewing hip hop now. It's the OG, whatever that was, the people who live and die by the snitching. You can't snitch. You gotta write all your bars yourself, right? You can't have no ghostwriters, or you will not be respected. Y'all can probably throw some extra stuff in
and
here.
You have to have somebody else's girl. Like you have to have stolen somebody's girl before.
Give me the 10 commandments of hip hop. Come on.
You gotta have a diamond on your head. Like
you gotta have a 24 million diamond in the middle of your head. You have to have caught a body.
Yeah.
You have to, if you go to jail, your career is gonna pop. Like it's automatic.
You gotta have a first day out.
You gotta have
That's facts.
Yeah, that's hilarious, but that's true. Or a second day, that works too. Or last day. Like they all do it, man. So yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens though, man.
Let me ask y'all this one last question.
What's that?
On Everyday Struggle, we used to have this segment called On the Clock, right? I want to ask y'all, what artists do y'all feel like is on the clock that needs a hit in the near future, or they're done for?
Woo! Wait, done? Like done? They're out of here? Like they
like they're like not gonna be relevant anymore. Like they need a hit soon. Like if they drop anything that's not a hit, they're gone.
Yo, let me search my library real quick. You might have some. I got a couple. Go ahead.
It pains me to say this. Wiz Khalifa hit in the worst way, bro. Like,
wow.
Oh man, I'm actually surprised Wiz Khalifa made it to 2021 still making music, because like,
wow.
He used to come out with Black and Yellow hits, and like every single time he came out with a hit.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years, man, it just haven't been hitting, man. And I'm like, he needs a hit.
Yo, Wiz is like turning into currency. Like one of those people that's beloved by the culture, but like just can't get one.
Just can't get one. And he's trying. Yeah. He's trying. What about you? Who do you think?
I got one. I got one. Man, there's so many, man. But some of these people, I don't even think a hit will save them. So I'll give you the people that I think, even if they got a hit, they're still done. People like Smoke Perp. People like Lil Pump. No, I'm dead ass. Like, even if they got a hit,
they don't qualify to me.
I'm just saying they're done. There's people who listen to them, but they're done. They're out of here.
Yeah.
You know who really needs to show improve? And it sucks because like I like this guy, Dave East.
Mm-hmm.
Dave East, if he does not get a hit anytime soon, we gonna have to start like really calling him what he is, which is a potential field rapper who never lived up to what we thought he could be. I just feel that way. Like Davies needs a hit in the worst way. He really does.
Wow.
Who you got though? I got a couple more. I got to sit on it and think though. But who you got, Jordan?
I think Wabi and Namir for sure. I think Namir needs something. I mean, he's already done.
Yeah.
He's done. Yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
He's already done. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you think about him at the height of his career, it was banger after banger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, next time he drops, if it's not that, like, it's over for him.
I say that all the time. Time.
Yeah. I think, I actually think Kodak. You know, Kodak just got out. Everybody's anticipating. Kodak need one.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with Kodak.
You don't think Kodak needs one?
No. What I'm saying is, let me rephrase that. I don't think that if Kodak Black does not drop a hit, he's done. Like Kodak Black is, before he went to jail, bro. Like he was solidified. Like I fuck with Kodak Black's music.
Yeah,
he doesn't absolutely need one, or else he's done. Like
I see where Jordan's coming from, though. I see where Jordan's coming from. Where I think right now he's at the peak of like what he can be, and if he takes a hit, if he makes a hit right now, I think he can get to that next level. If he doesn't make a hit, then like I think he's going to either stay at where he's at or go down a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel you. I got another name for you though.
Okay.
Lil Yachty.
I thought
listen.
His last album was pretty good.
Drake and the Baby. That's a hit.
I think
it was a hit, but like,
bro, that was a hit, bro.
Yeah, I love that song. Like I love the video. I love everything about that song. But like to me, Lil Yachty. I put it like this: Lil Yachty, he was so in debt musically that like that one song did not save him. It didn't bring him up to flow. Like he still has musical debt to me. That's kind of how I'm looking at this. Like you can be so far in the hole that like one hit is not just going to bring you up.
I don't think it's in the hole though. I don't think Yachty's in the hole.
I think
Yachty's in the hole.
I think Yachty just got unlucky because when he dropped the album, it was like the same day the George Floyd incident happened. So he never really got to like, you know, have his fair shake. You know what I'm saying? And then we didn't get a summer, so we couldn't really like live with the Oprah joint.
Yeah.
You know? I think he deserves another chance. Like
that joint is fire. Like
I love that joint.
I listen to that joint all the time, man.
That song was tough. It was tough.
What about Cordae? What about Cordae? Because everybody's like, yo, what's next from you? You just came off the Grammy high. We need something on that caliber.
I think Cordae, I always talk about Cordae where it was like, it almost felt like his last album was an appetizer. And now like, we need the entree. Yo, what you about to come? Because we haven't figured out where we want to place Cordae yet. Like is Cordae like one of the better like lil rappers, or is he like up there with the J. Cole's of the world? And
right.
This next album will tell you where he needs to be placed.
Damn.
You know, I got another name for you guys, and this is probably in the realm of Cordae. Chance the Rapper.
I was about to say Chance the Rapper.
Hey, that's a big one.
If Chance the Rapper, let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be just straight up. That last album that he dropped, what was it? The Big Day. Listen, that album was so mediocre that I firmly believe he used the cancellation of his tour, right? I don't know if you guys remember that. Like he canceled, like he set up this whole freaking, I don't know if it was a world tour or US tour, but it was they were selling tickets and then they canceled the whole fucking Big Day tour because they claimed there was a production issue. Nah,
he ain't selling enough.
Yo, anytime somebody talking about there's a production issue, and that's why we had to cancel the tour. I'm not rolling. Y'all lying. Nope. No, not enough demand. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but with Chance the Rapper, fam, that album was mediocre at best.
At best.
Now, he needs a hit in the worst way.
In the worst way. This one hurts to say. I love this guy, Joey Badass.
Ooh,
I love Joey Badass. That's one of my favorite rappers. At one point, he was my favorite.
hurt my heart.
But it's true though.
I still love that album he put out.
America.
Yeah,
what's it called? What's it called? What's the joint called? It had the KKK in the America.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I love that. I love every song on that album. Every single song.
I overplayed it. It out. I played it out.
Me too.
All American Badass.
All American Badass. Phenomenal album.
Fire.
But I agree with that because he kind of disappeared, and it's kind of like, you know, now it's around now we need something from you.
We need something.
I feel like we could just throw names in here.
Yeah, all day long.
I got another name. I got one. The last one, but go ahead. I got one more.
The last one, and you guys may disagree. I think Trippie Redd. He's a hit.
You wild.
What?
You're wild.
Blasphemy.
Trippie Redd's last album, I was like, you know, it wasn't bad, but like I feel like it almost showed like his time's almost up, like his prime. Like I feel like his next song, his next hit will determine whether or not his prime is over or like, you know, he's gonna keep going, in my opinion.
I don't agree. I can't agree. I'm with you on the last album not being the best. You're right. It was too long and it just wasn't, it didn't hit that much. But there were still some good songs on there. Like I don't think that he's done if he does not. Like I think that, so that's really where I'm coming from. Like I thought this segment was about if they do not drop a hit, they're out of here. People are not checking for them again. Isn't that what this is?
Okay. That's fair.
That does not apply to Trippie Redd, in my opinion.
That's fair.
And I feel like Trippie Redd is getting better, like over time, like singing, like
he's getting better. He's getting better.
I got one. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I got one last name, and you guys may disagree. I don't know where you guys stand on this, but like, it pains me to say this. ASAP Rocky.
Oh yeah.
I
already like
ASAP. I heard he's about to drop an album this year, a couple months. Because remember, I was on the Q. We talk about music all the time. I don't know how you felt about his last album, Testing Jordan, but I agree. Now you cannot have two albums of trash in a row. Like I need to see more improve, and I legitimately need a hit from him because I feel like ASAP Rocky is one of them dudes who he was at the forefront of this like new era in a way. Like he was one of those guys who really was the man back 4, 5, 6 years ago, really, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He came out with the Kendricks. They were all kind of looked at as the same. J. Cole.
ASAP Rocky was one of the leaders of the new school, and I feel like he kind of just fell back, and for whatever reasons it was, but musically speaking, I think he needs one.
But has he ever? He had some hits, but like he's never been hit based though. Like,
all right, so you're right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if his next project is bad,
I don't think he's done. He's still he got Rihanna, he ain't done.
Musically, nah, he's out of here. We're not checking for him after two bad albums in a row. No, you can't do that. Nah,
I'm checking for him. Is he still the hottest ASAP?
Are you checking for him or are you checking for Rihanna? Which one?
Of course, I'm checking for her.
I mean, they're together, so I'm saying like.
Nobody mentioned Rihanna. Nobody said Rihanna needs a hit.
She don't. Rihanna's relevant forever.
Yeah, Rihanna's etched in stone. Like she don't even. To be honest with you, I don't even want music from Rihanna.
I'm just joking. I know.
Do you think she could top Anti? Because Anti was crazy.
Anti was dope.
I don't think so, man.
What?
Anti was a 10 out of 10. I don't know if she can do that again.
I don't think she can top that. I don't. I don't think so.
Anti was SZA was on Anti, I believe.
She was. She actually wrote a few songs, if I'm not mistaken, off Anti. I might be off, but yeah. Yeah, man, but that's a dope segment. I'm glad you brought the everyday struggle topic and segment to this.
Had to.
I like that. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Had to.
Yo, hey, this has been really fun, man. We really appreciate you for pulling up, man. Hey, and for real, we can do this anytime, man. Like
Hey,
I really enjoyed this convo with you, man.
I'm with it, bro. Thank y'all for having me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just, hey, yo, y'all need to keep doing this. Like, keep doing this because this is dope right here. This is dope.
Oh man,
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
For sure. What's y'all like end goal? Like, what do y'all want out of this?
I want about like $10 million.
That's real.
Yeah, in all seriousness, I think that, really for real, like we just music lover. Like, we chased since high school. We've been talking about music, and so to be able to put it on wax, to be able to share it with y'all, like it's been fun. It's therapeutic.
That's what's up, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, same thing, man. Like it's natural, it's normal. So it's like when I'm kicking it with my guy who I know for the longest, it don't feel like work. So ultimately, I feel like what we're doing is trying to craft a community of people who just like talking about music, just straight up. Like I don't want to lose the music aspect of the show. But things happen, you grow, you scale up, you might need to start talking about some other shit that other people care about. But like I think we just are two dudes who just really love music and really love expressing our opinions, breaking down albums, breaking down songs. And it's fire. Like, that's the end goal, is to do that until wherever the next level is and wherever that takes us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, keep going. Y'all need to get on Clubhouse, by the way.
I've been told this guy don't have an iPhone.
I told him.
Yeah, you did say that.
I got one, man. Damn.
I was like, yo, one day I might just pull up on one of them clubhouses, one of those clubhouse forums that Meek Mill's on, and just start talking. I always wanted to be cussed out by Meek Mill in my life, so
Yeah, man. Thanks again for having me, yo. It was fun being here.
Appreciate it.
Hey, before we get up out of here, man, what's next for you though? I want to get like, what's next for you? Like, what? Not necessarily where do you see yourself? I mean, you can answer the same question, but like, what's next for you in terms of what you're doing at Complex? How you really see where you're going?
Man,
the next few.
I really want to make more of a transition of being on camera, like even like right now. I feel like my purpose in life is to just help other creatives in all shapes and forms. And it's even to the point where the means of what I'm doing doesn't even matter, right? Like you'll see that I do music, I shoot videos, act, edit, all these different things. And that's really all for the end goal of helping somebody else, inspiring somebody else, turning that light bulb on for them. You know what I'm saying? And so as long as I can get that end result, the actual means of it, how I get there, doesn't matter that much. But I noticed that my words have a strong effect on people. So, like even how you found me on YouTube, like I want to do more of that. I got to get consistent with that. And just, have fun with it.
Yeah, I would say, man, you got a good presence. Like, great. Like when you're on the mic, like you got to me, like a great host, somebody that, when you speak, like it's you make. I always tell Ucha, like your words matter. Like when you speak, make sure your words matter, and I think your words matter. So like it's like that. Hey, bright future. Hey man, hey, when I'm broke, like I might start asking for some money from you, man. Like, hey, you got the Cash App?
Damn that! I'm gonna have to borrow that microphone from you, man. Like I told you before we shoot.
You gotta let me borrow that gaming chair. You gotta let me get that chair. I know that joint was expensive.
Oh yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yo, this pillow is extra comfortable too, by the way. Yo, this has been really dope, man. Hey, we'll do this again soon, but yeah, man. Jordan Wood, check him out. I'm sorry, Jordan. I said Jordan Woods. Hey, I just disrespected you like that. My fault. Jordan Lowe, check his YouTube channel out. Check him on social media, Instagram, Twitter. Give it to him real quick because I don't know if you said that before.
All right, so you can find me on YouTube at Jordan Lowe. And then you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Low Show Co. That is LOSHOWCO. Boom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Word. We are back with our, obviously, the segment we've been doing for you guys more recently, our indie review. And we got a bunch of songs we want to review with you guys. Shout out to everybody out there who has submitted their song to us. Trust me, we got your email. We'll get to it when we get to it, guys. Like, straight up, it's a lot of y'all. We can't get to you guys on every episode, but for this episode, we got 4 singles, 1 album review. Q, how do you feel about some of the songs that we've heard? Just give me your take before we dive into the details.
Yo, I mean, everybody came with the heat this time, man. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of confident musicians out there that really impressed me, man. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's an impressive bunch.
Yeah, for sure. So with that being said, let's jump right into the music reviews. But first, we want to show you guys a little thing that we put together for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you're listening to this on the audio, you couldn't see it, but whatever. It's our new little promo segment here. First song, though, we have an artist by the name of Detroit YB. Don't know if that stands for Young Boy, but we're going to go with that anyway. He dropped a song called I Get Around. Actually, he dropped off the visuals too, so cute. What do you think about the song?
That's a good point that you added the visuals on there, because I think the visuals actually rounds it out. Detroit YB, I'm assuming it's from Detroit, Michigan. First and foremost, I want to talk about the visuals. Detroit, Michigan looks beautiful. Wherever he is, like maybe I'm assuming the downtown area of Detroit, bruh, it looked like a nice ass city. So all these people that want to talk all that mess about Detroit, take a look at those visuals. Trust me, the city looks nice. But I thought the song was fantastic, man. I'm gonna start off by saying I give it a 4 out of 5. One thing is the song is powered by one of my favorite flows that's out right now. The flow that goes da 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 da. Like, but Detroit YB gives it a certain flair. He gives it more oomph. And then also his confidence makes that flow sound even better to me. And then when you add on the competitive / boisterous / gangsta ass lyrics into the equation, I think you got something good. I will say this, one thing that's interesting about the song is that it features an instrumental that initially you might be a little like annoyed by. It's almost like it almost sounds like one of them kids that's yeah in your ear, but like I think that gives it like this weird hypnotizing effect on you that just makes the song better. Overall, like I said, 4 out of 5. It's a very good song. Detroit YB, man, that was dope, man. That was dope.
Yeah, I think you're right on point, man. And what's funny to me with this song is you're right. The production was a bit, I'll call it annoying sounding at first listen, but it settled in perfectly. I thought that Detroit YB's vocals, his confidence, his swagger, the way he was really carrying himself over the actual track was very seamless. You know what I'm saying? And here's a pet peeve of mine that I usually go back and forward with, but the people who do it well, I give them mad props. And it's when the cadence of the verses match the cadence of the hook. Like when they just keep the same cadence, like I generally don't like that. Because I like more of a switch up, but I think that this song has enough energy that kind of gives it a little bit of life and sets it apart. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, the thing about this song is it's one of them joints that's really gonna get, I think, people energized. And so I don't know if he has a single. I don't know if this is a single. I don't know if Detroit, the whole city, is open with what's going on in the world right now. But I need to hear this joint in the club. I need to hear this joint, like, really hyping up the people, because I feel like it has that type of feel to it where it can really get people energized. Ultimately, Detroit YoungBoy snapped straight up. The whole song was just him going straight through with bars, and I can appreciate that. So, with that being said, I'm gonna give this song 4 stars. 4 stars, man. Strong 4. 4 out of 5. It's a strong 4.
Yeah, I think it's one of those joints that's like impossible to give anything less than a 4, man. Like if you a lover of hip hop music, especially today's day and age hip hop music, I think it's impossible to give anything less than a 4. Next song that we're going to review is called Aim High by what I'm assuming is KiTTN. If you can see how it's spelled down there, it's spelled a little differently. What do you think about this song, Mr. Uche?
Funny you asked me. It has to be KiTTN. It has to. And so with that being said,
yeah.
I thought she did, first and foremost, I love the way the song opened up. It's like we're getting a bunch of songs and bunch of submissions with people who are giving us like little soulful feel type songs. And I feel like she stuck true to that. You know what I'm saying? She really spoke her truth. And she really gave a sense that like she was really speaking to the people unapologetically, which I can appreciate. Confidently, I'll say that. And with that being said, it really gave me like old Drake vibes with the flow she was giving off. I'm talking about like 09 Drake, where she was like, I'm talking about So Far Gone, at the end of So Far Gone, right before Thank You Later, trying to like give people that confident flow, the things that I think people don't really do these days. So with that being said, I like KiTTN's flow on this. I thought that it could have used a little bit of energy though. But I'm a fan of the lackadaisical flow. that's my shit. That's my shit. So KiTTN, by the way, cool name. I like the way you spelling it too, like straight up. That's interesting. I need to see some visuals to this. You know what? I'm getting to the point with these submissions that I feel like we're getting spoiled with people submitting their music videos to us. You know what I'm saying? Like there is power in visuals to songs. So if this song had visuals, I could really see that. I could really see me liking this a bit more. Fire beat, lackadaisical bars. That's not a bad thing. I think the way she did it was really good. But I think overall, if it had more energy, I would feel it a little. And when I say energy, I mean in her performance. Her performance could have used a little bit of energy. So I'm gonna give this song a solid 3.5 out of 5. Solid. Very, very solid track. It's definitely not something that's going to blow you away, but I think it's solid album cut type material that you could gravitate and go back to and really enjoy in the future. So, Q, what do you think?
Before I give my opinion on it, I want to ask KiTTN a quick question. Is that you about to dunk on that front cover of the single artwork? Like about to like yam it like Vince Carter style on there? Like that'll be dope. But anyway, so I kind of disagree a little bit with you in certain things that you said about this song. So first and foremost, let me start off with a rating. And I'm going to be a little difficult here. So if this is supposed to be a lead single to get people hyped up for an album, I'm going to give it about a 3.5 because I agree with you that it kind of lacks energy in terms of trying to get somebody hyped up for something. But if this is just like the intro to an album, I'm gonna give that thing like a 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, because to me, this just felt like an album intro cut. Like the first thing that came to my mind was Jay-Z, The Ruler's Back on the Blueprint, where similar beat, where it's like a soulful beat that's still like hard hitting. This person that's kind of trying to exercise their skills, show you that dropping bars is something that comes easy for them. That's kind of the vibe that I got. And so, like, I'm not sure The Ruler's Back is one of Jay-Z's best songs, but like when you put it in perspective for the fact that it started the Blueprint off, I think that's what made it even tighter. I will say with the rhymes, I think it's funny. I think that initially her rhymes start out like elementary, a little more simple, but then as the song goes on, she starts to toy with certain flows that I get like, whoa, I'm like impressed with. And then she starts to get more intricate with her rhymes and raps. So I think it's a song that gets better. But like I said, if it's an album intro, I'm giving this thing like 4 or 4.5. If it's just a song to get people excited, then 3.5 or so.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I'm not mad at that grade.
Let's just put it this way. It's a good song.
It's a good song. We're not debating on that. I think we have difference of opinions, but we're not debating on whether the song is good. The song is good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. Well, KiTTN, let us know what your intentions of this song is. Because I don't believe there's a video to this, but it was just a single that was on YouTube. You sent us a link. If you planning to shoot a video for this, I would love to see it. If this is an intro, like you said, it might work better. So
and if it's you dunking, I'm getting out of the way. Because you dunking, the person look like they about to throw it down on somebody.
Facts. Let's move on though. The next song we have to talk about is by a guy named Reid. I believe he's out of Colorado. Shout out to you for submitting your song to us. He dropped a song called My Broken Heart. Q, I know you heard it. What are your thoughts?
You know what? First and foremost, shout out to Colorado. That's one of my favorite states, particularly Denver. That is one of my favorite cities in the world. The downtown Denver is one of the best downtowns in America. Quote me, at me, I don't care, whatever. But to the song. It's funny. I don't quite love his performance on the song, but I really like everything else. And by everything else, I mean the melodies. The melodies are intoxicating. I love the energy per se that he brings. I love the beat, how it bounces. I don't quite love the quality, I will say that, of the song, but I think it has potential of being a really good song. It's just I'm not a big fan of the vocal performance. I think it could be a little more dynamic. But I mean, I could definitely see myself replaying it. If I were to give it a grade, I would say about a 3.5, something like that.
Okay, 3 out of 5. I think that's fair. So for me, like you said, man, shout out to Denver, man. I actually proposed to my now fiance in Denver during the pandemic, which is crazy. But you're right, man. The Denver scene, man, is underrated, straight up. I've been a lot of different places in America. You have too, Q, and I think people need to actually put some respect on Denver's name for real. Dope city. But anyway, this ain't about me. This is about Reid. Q, you said it, man. I think you're right on the money as far as the infectiousness of the actual song itself. I make this point all the time. I'm gonna keep saying it until the cows come home, or at least until I'm wrong. Shit. Guitars, throw some guitars in the beat, bruh. It's gonna bring out the life. It's gonna bring out the life in the music. And I think that the melody that he used in the hook also brought the song to life. If I'm not mistaken, it goes like, thinking about you every single night. So I see what he was trying to do, but ultimately your point about the vocal performance, I think, is spot on. I think the song was well written. It was well constructed. I think the hook, and what I mean by that is like from the flow of the verse to the actual hook to just how the song actually came about, perfect. Mixed with the production, perfect. His performance lacked a bit because his singing was not up to par for what type of song he was trying to pull off. If his singing was a little bit better, I don't know what you need to do to invest in a better, improve your singing. Some people have it, some people don't. But hey, there are such things as vocal coaches. you can improve your singing if you didn't know that. And this goes for you, Nick, and this goes for any other person. Shit, Q, you can't sing at all, but I'm sure if you spend some little bit of money, like you might be able to sing. Don't you? Wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you say so?
Absolutely not. I'm horrible. But everybody has vocal coaches. Ariana Grande.
The best of them do, right?
I've seen everybody has a vocal coach, and I think that's a great point. Like, I think a vocal coach would be able to bring out the best in this song, because I don't particularly think he's a bad singer. I just think for this particular song, it needed a certain type of sound.
By all means, like, yeah, I want to make that point as well. He's not a bad singer. It's, again, that type of song, that type of performance needed somebody with a bit more clarity in their vocals to be able to pull it off and make it flawless. But that's not me saying that the song is not good. So to be honest with you, I still really like the song.
I like the song.
Overall, I'm going to give this about a 3.5 out of 5.
But it has the potential of being a 5. That's the thing that's interesting about it. It has the potential of being a 5. Next song is BROOXCiV. I'm guessing I need help with that one.
Bro, I have no. I actually was struggling. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. I have no idea how to pronounce homeboy's name. Let's go with BROOXCiV.
BROOXCiV. I see BROOXCiV. BROOXCiV. And then he has a song called HEKNOEVIL. HEKNOEVIL. What do you think about the song, my brother?
So,
see, America? Wow. See how hard that is? Pronounce it.
Yeah, it's impossible. And I think he did it on purpose, man. Like, I do like people who like try to confuse people. Like that, there is a talent in that, and there's a place for that. I'm here for that. So hey, we probably butchered it and it's all good. But in terms of the song itself, I thought it was different, man. Like I really don't know where he was going with the direction of this song, because to be quite honest with you, it was all over the place. The raps were erratic. His flows were erratic. There were times where he was actually off beat, and there were times where he was on beat. The production of the song is something I really thought it was more of an experience than anything else, because, you know, what he did was really bring this like madness effect to the song itself. Kind of reminded me of what Eminem tries to do the majority of the time he would make records back in the day. You know, he had this like really dark feel, manic type feel, rock star grungy type. I can tell by the artwork of this single that this BROOXCiV, again, apologize if we're pronouncing that wrong. Pretty sure we are. As a matter of fact, if you could correct this, please. I want to know how to pronounce your name, but I can tell he's like a real different type of dude. Like, you could just tell, like, in the artwork itself, it's like a mix between Mario Judah meets Ski Master Slump God meets XXXTentacion. Bro, I don't know, but it was different. I'm here for it though. But I might have to take some Tylenol after hearing this song, because my head kind of hurts. Like, there's a lot of fucking shouting and a lot of screaming. Probably not the song I would go to every time, but it's a cool song. It's different. That's what I will say. So 3 out of 5 stars. That's what I'm going with. Q, what do you think?
Well, you know what I always say is that, music has a place. Every single song has a specific place, and sometimes that place that you're taking on doesn't make sense necessarily. I think in this situation, Brooks, let's just say that Brooks wanted to just like take us on this like haunting, terrifying journey. Didn't necessarily want the music to sound pleasant, or didn't want the music to sound, what's the opposite of erratic? Sane. He just wanted to give us a horror movie like experience, and I respect that, and I understand that, and so I really like that. I honestly, when you put it in perspective, like especially me being a major horror movie fan, I've seen all the horror movies. I've seen everything from Rage Carrie to The Shining to Rosemary's Baby. I thought this was a pretty cool experience. And I do think he's a good rapper. Like there's moments in the song where like I can tell like this dude can go bar for bar with anybody. But then there's moments that I can tell that he sacrificed some of his rapping skills to just kind of prove that he's not sane up there. Like he's trying to prove to us throughout the song that he got a couple screws loose. So if you listen to the song in perspective, like similar to KiTTN song, put it in perspective, the right perspective, like wear the same goggles that you wore when you listened to DMX's Damien, where a grown-ass man was trying to intimidate a little kid with the same voice and everything. If you put it in that same perspective, I think the song is good. I think the song is enjoyable. I think the song is about 3.5 out of 5, in my opinion.
Okay. I think that's fair. What did I give it, a 3? I don't remember. What did I say? I gave it a 3. All right, cool. So
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all good. But shout out to you, man. Shout out to you for submitting your music, man. Now on to the next project. And the last one that we're going to do for this episode. This was actually not a single, but more of a full-length project. So we're going to spend a little bit more time on this because, it kind of deserves it. 13 songs. Gentleman by the name of Philmore, Greene, dropped a project in late December of last year called The Survival Scroll. And, man, Q, I want to like just chop it up. Let's go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Like you heard the album, I heard it. I thought it was very impressive. And it really surprised me, to be honest with you, because when I threw it on, I didn't really know what to expect. But I think very early on in the project, it was clear to me that this was going to be a quality effort because we talk about this a lot about the people who submit music to us, and listen, we're just one platform and there's many platforms, but as always, if you take your craft seriously, if you're somebody who is about this life and about this music stuff, invest in yourself, invest in the quality of the songs, invest in the artwork, invest in you basically performing at your highest peak, triple down on the things that you do well. And I think that what Philmore Greene does and what he did on this project was pretty impressive. Production-wise, interjecting a lot of soul within damn near every beat. You know what I'm saying? We had sample loops. We had things that like didn't really, it wasn't really part of your average and maybe traditional, not traditional, but the songs that you're hearing these days from artists, right? We're entering into a more melodic feel, and Philmore Greene is attempting to bring back the essence of hip hop, right? And so that's what that was. So Q, give me your high level thoughts, and let's jump into the details of the album.
Yeah, I mean it's an attempt by Philmore to make a classic hip hop album. Like, you know how we tie a certain sound, a certain vibe to classic hip hop albums. I'm not sitting here saying that this is Illmatic, but like it's clearly an attempt to try to sound like that type of body of work. And I think it's a great attempt, actually. But I'm just going to sit here and say that this is easily, probably, more than likely, the best album I've heard this year so far. Out of all the albums that come out, and I've heard this year. And mind you, it's February, but so far from all the albums that I heard, this is the best that I've heard so far.
Well, let's be clear. Let's be clear though, because that is a big statement, and it's relative. So, a lot of artists have not dropped this year. I'm talking about, when I say a lot, I mean like the mainstream guys. But you know what? Let's put them aside for now. If you're just talking about out of all the music that we review, you review a lot of music. whether it's on this platform, ratingsgamemusic.com. That's a powerful statement. You should say that again.
Yeah,
you should say that again.
It's no debate. Actually, it's the best album that I've reviewed, I've listened to. Everything is quality, number one, and then number two, the raps are next level, high quality raps. Flows are great, punchlines are great, meaningful lyrics, meaningful. Like every bar feels like it means something. There's no wasted bars. There's no wasted moments in the album.
Facts.
The way the album flows, the features, everybody that's getting the chance to speak on the album does their thing. The interludes, like everything about the album to me screams out fantastic.
Let me tell you something, man. This album was so good. I took notes. I legitimately had to jot down my ideas.
Wow.
Because that's how much food for thought it was providing me. So let me reference some of the things that I put down. Number one.
Hey, by the way, I went to college with this guy. He never took notes. You. College with you.
Hey. Hey. I take notes here. I take notes here.
You know what?
This time I took notes here. Look at that.
You know what?
Look at this. Look at all these goddamn notes. This is just for this project.
You know why that means a lot? Because the notes that you had up here were poisoned by tequila. So they're gone. Tequila can't mess with the notes that you got in the damn phone. So that's good news.
That is a fact. Here's one thing I wrote down, and this is how I really feel. The sequencing of this project was second to none. Like, and I think that adds to the point that you're making and I'm making about the feel, how it feels like a classic project, bro. Like sequencing is literally the difference between a project being good and great. You know, like to me, Kendrick Lamar does it extremely well. Even Roddy Ricch, somebody who's a complete opposite of a Kendrick Lamar in terms of style, musically, even his project, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, the way the songs went from song to song just flowed, that is so important to being able to build a quality project. And this joint did just that. Here's some of the top songs that I want to point out, though, because I can talk about this joint for a while. My favorite song was Time. Straight up. I gave Time 5 out of 5. Unbelievable quality song. It had a perfect blend of like lyricism meets radio play meets adding melody to the hook. Like it met every benchmark, every possible benchmark that you can meet in a song going the next level. I think that song did it. And then secondly, and more importantly, that song stood out to me because it really felt like a single. It felt like a joint that you should put out if you want to grab people who are not necessarily fans of the majority of the music that you make. So Time to me really stood out to me as the best song. Secondly, I'm going to follow that up with Generational Wealth. I don't understand, respectfully speaking, how that was the last song on the project. I mean, I understand the concept of going out with a bang, but my God, that song, like it's to the point where I would actually encourage y'all to switch that song and make it like at the top, because in a generation, in an era where people are not listening to full-length projects, especially joints that's like 13 songs, they may not even get to that song. And that song is one of the best joints on the project. You feel me? Am I off? Like, isn't that how you felt?
No, that's 100%. I actually, only thing I would disagree, I would say it leaves people with a good taste in their mouth. So it's like, you know, they can look forward to more projects from him. So I actually like that it's the last song on the project. But I mean, I get where you're coming from, though. I get where you're coming from.
That's fair. And then followed by that, Live from the Metropolis is my third favorite song, followed by Dr. Sebi. And then my fifth favorite song is I Love You, because this is what we do on the show. If we review albums, we're going to give our top 5. So, Q, give me your top 5.
I thought you were going to say what we do on the show is we love each other. That's true. I love you too. My top 5, I'm going to go breeze by real quick. I love the intro, Live from the Metropolis. I Love You. Obviously, that's a fantastic song. Dr. Sebi is another one that I really enjoyed. Generational Wealth. And was that 5? That was 5, right? Those are my top 5 songs. I will say, you mentioned a couple of people that sequence albums really well. The closest person I can kind of compare this to is Dave East. Dave East sequences albums really well also. And Dave East is gutter, and Dave East, though, still raps over soulful beats. And Dave East makes classic or close to classic albums. So I really like this joint. I'm saving a couple of these songs on my library because, it's kind of like music used as soul food. Music is soul food.
Yeah, I want to. Well, first off, let me listen. I don't stand behind with the statement you just made about Dave East. I want to be very clear. I don't think Dave East makes classic projects. I think he makes he makes albums that has classic feel albums. There's a difference. There's a difference. Let's be very clear. I'm not on board with that statement you just made. But no, I do want to shout out some of these interludes as well, because it really put together the project. And remember, Q, we talked about this a few episodes ago, and I said, yo, what happened to interludes? What happened to people interjecting skits, interludes? It brings the feel of a project together. And I think it's something that is missing in rap that needs to come back. Not for everybody, because I don't think everybody can pull it off, but when done well, it definitely makes the project have a better feel. So that skit called interlude in parentheses God, which had those words from Louis Farrakhan, I thought was very uplifting. It really painted the picture. Black people are targets. Black empowerment, Black everything. Black youth is the next way. Like Black everything. I feel you, Philmore, and shout out to you for including that. And then the other skit that I want to highlight is the one called Shelter, which had a very powerful quote by this dude named civil rights activist named William Hayden. I actually Googled all of this. This is how deep I was into this. Civil rights activist in 1964. He was from Pittsburgh. He actually made a quote, and he was essentially at City Hall making the plight for Black people. Anyhow, I don't want to bore you guys, and I mean you guys who are not hip hop heads and really into this music shit like we are, but just know that this project was extremely quality. And so we would encourage all of you guys to check this out for real. Definitely will not be, you won't regret it at all. You just won't.
I agree. I'm gonna check it out myself again.
Facts. Generational Wealth, I saved to my private library, and so did I did the same thing with Time. Those to me, they had what it took to enter my library, my sacred library that I don't add every song to. So shout out to you, Philmore, Greene, and everybody else, who we reviewed on this show. Yeah, man, keep doing your thing.
Keep doing your thing.